I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
I'm broken system, broken trust, and I approve this message.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money.
Mask on. Fuck it, mask on. Mask on. Fuck it, mask on.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Here we go again is right. On our newest episode of The Racist and the Retard. We are back. We are back, and unfortunately, we have to cover these people again. We have to ruin these people's lives again. Because for some reason, they didn't get the hint the first time. We don't need GS's chat. That's kind of going to be pointless. We're going to be watching this at 1.25 speed. Because he invited Chris Ryder, the guy who's called the cops on him, the guy who's said he was stalking children, the guy who's filed a lawsuit against him, or TPO rather. He's going to get on panel with him and be buddy-buddy. And then it begs the question, like, oh, were we right when we said that you were best friends? Because it seems like y'all are fucking best friends. Sorry, I'm doing this on the fly. So, actually, you know what? Fuck Todd. Fuck Todd. You can be off to the side. You can be a little square. I know in your relationship, you're the little spoon. You can be the little square when you're on my panel. There you go. Stay down there. Good boy. Here we go. Let me know if you guys can hear this. There. There we go.
All right. I think everyone can hear you now.
That's what you told other vets.
Yeah, awful lot of roughnecks in that channel, isn't there? Just didn't get it out of his mind right now.
Exactly what I came up to talk about.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, Stone Vet, keep watching, motherfucker, because here's what's going on. You are catering to the Kaiser audience. Congratulations. You were out of everybody. Stone Vet, you are the one that gets the official Kaiser 2.0 slot.
Yes. Apparently, Stone Vet, the guy who literally hated Wrangler, he's getting all of Wrangler's supporters. Now, I hate to break it to this whole. I had to break it to Chris and Todd here. You guys are getting all of the D. Garrett viewers, all of the Civic Duty viewers. Chris, you're probably getting a lot of the, I don't know, the News Now Houston viewers. I know that you support that kind of group. Was this today? Anya, this is going on right now. Actually, you know what? Let me move my camera a little further over here so I don't got to keep ducking out of the way of Todd. Chris is soaking up all of the sex offender supporter group. He's backed D. Garrett, even though D. Garrett molested his 12-year-old sister and then later tried to pimp her out. That's who Chris supports. That's who's watching Chris Ryder. And GS said, oh, well, I've forgiven him, yada, yada. This is nonsense. This is a cope. And this is coming from a guy who I don't even necessarily like, Stone Vet. We've become, we're tolerable to each other now. I literally was in his chat for a hot second watching just this thing. I'm not going to, I probably, if Stone Vet wanted to get a beer, I probably would. But yeah, I'm not going to go drive out of my way to go hang out with Stone Vet. But this is nonsense from Chris Ryder. And Ryan, it's funny you bring up his live. I was literally just over there watching that before this.
You are Kaiser.
You're Kaiser. Then you're D. Garrett.
You did it, Stone Vet. You got 40 more viewers. All are the Kaiser audience. Well done. Congratulations. Is that what you were going for? Big army guy? Big got a whole reputation of being somebody special in the fucking military. You got friends that are in high places. You think you're hot shit. All you do is sell your fucking weed, bro. Like, that's what you're here for. You're here to get numbers and sell weed. Does that make you, what, a drug salesman who also has a military background that you claim, Stone Vet? I heard you say it. I got it clipped. You said it with your own mouth that everybody you served with said that you were gay.
Also, I want to pause this too because I was in Stone Vet's chat while this was happening. They didn't call him gay. They called him the gay Tom Selleck because of his mustache. And he thought it was funny. But that's just Chris lying because that's what Chris does. Oh, this is a long lost friend from when I lived in Virginia. I found this at the store and I bought a 12 pack. So I'm drinking that out of a giant cup.
Yeah, that's pretty based.
Dude, do you know how it would feel if he actually is straight? Do you know how he probably feels that everybody he served with called him gay? He said that everyone he served with used to joke with him. He said joke, but it's really reality. He calls it a joke because it hurt his feelings. But they all said, this is what his words out of Stone Vet's mouth. He said, everybody I served with used to call me gay Tom Selleck.
Yeah. Oh,
Now,
yeah.
the reason he adds Tom Selleck is because he is attracted to Tom Selleck. So if he adds that part in,
Who isn't attracted to Tom Selleck? Have you seen that boy's mustache? That's like saying Sam Elliott's not attractive. Like what? Oh yeah, KTZ. We're what on today's episode of The Racist and the Retard. We've got Todd and Chris with a combined IQ of -10. Here we are. Yeah, everybody in the military gets called gay. It's funny because wasn't Todd just talking about holding Chris down and taking him from the back like earlier this year or late last year? So it's like, come on, guys.
in there and tries to make a laugh out of it. All he's doing is saying, it's a compliment that they compare me to Tom Selleck. But the fact is that they were calling him gay.
Great compliment.
You are gay, Stone Vet. And it sounds like you might even be gay for Tom Selleck.
I think he's kind of low-key gay.
And you are running the Kaiser crew.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 100%. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. No, I didn't want to interrupt you, but yeah.
Yeah, Weapons. It's funny that the person who is criticizing what happens in the military is the guy who was never in the military. Turns out when you're fat, out of shape, and retarded, you can't get into the military, Chris. Maybe that's why your papa didn't want you and he left. Rumor has it that man's still looking for milk in Newports.
It's interesting. I mean, heck, all these people came flocking to my channel, just loving the fact that I was taking shits on you and Tiffany. They loved it.
Good times.
These, he feels like he's high on the hog right now. He's living high on the hog right now. He's super excited about it right now, but it's all going to come crashing down. I'd rather have 39 people that are actually in here. I literally have 39 people. Wow, that's crazy. I'd rather have 39 people. I just look down.
Used to have 100 and some people every day in his streams. Now he's got 39. And those people are only Chris's people now. Chris's people and people that we've kicked out of every other group for being degenerates. That's who's in Todd's chat. Also, if you noticed, can I bring this up? Subscriber mode only. He wants you to subscribe to his channel just so you can comment. Just so he can comment. GE Swag, if you're home, let me know. Or in a place that you can talk, let me know.
Want to see that are actually here because they actually genuinely want to be here. Actually, if you actually know what I mean. Actually, if you actually
yeah, I do actually understand that. Actually,
no, actually, they are the any port in a storm type person. They have been ostracized from every single channel, and they've wound up on your island of misfit toys. Todd, I know JP got kicked out of our channels because he was fucking creeping 90% of the chat out. And then he paid you enough money and you finally made him a mod, and now he just kicks everybody. Okay, let's just take a gander here. Who's in your chat? So Chris was in your chat. Let's go to live chat. Chris was in your chat. Fucking loser. X some shit. I don't know who that is. King Bluto sucks on the GS Chris Ryder bandwagon. Mimsy, I think Mimsy is just confused. And if you guys notice, it's the same like 5 people. Also, take a look at this. Did you show the like button who's boss? 65% said no, which means they didn't hit like on your video because they didn't like it. That's crazy. But none of these people are like allowed anywhere else without getting kicked. And they landed on they crashed along the shore of Misfit Island, and their king is now Todd. Todd, the wannabe cult leader.
So you're actually picking up what I'm putting down?
I actually completely understand that, actually.
Wow, it's amazing how like things go in a weird, circular kind of bizarre way.
Yeah, I actually heard about this, Anya. Apparently somebody couldn't go to court because of a flood. But wouldn't you know it, Chris Ryder has enough time to get on panel. The thimble worth of water that was in their house, in their basement. Too much. Couldn't go to work. They couldn't get the kayak out of the garage. And like, what are we doing, Chris? You posted pictures of how much water was in your basement. People in the Midwest call that a fucking Tuesday, bro. They go to work. They don't miss a day of work. They definitely don't miss court that you've been kicking for fucking months. No, Chris and Tiffany just looking for a way to avoid court, looking for any way to avoid responsibility.
I'm gonna let my dog out real quick, because he's kind of asking to go out.
Because he's gonna shit on the floor.
Do you have anything you want to say real quick? You keep it TOS for. I'll listen, but I'm gonna step away for a minute. Or do you want me to play the retard known as the Stone Vagine?
Well, actually, he's going to be playing this actually, so I can actually just give him a little something for his audience while you're gone.
Why does he keep?
Right, well,
is he mentally? No, yeah, we all know Chris is mentally disabled. Why does he keep saying actually like every other word? Is that like a tick?
I like catering to audiences. I don't care if they're Kaiser audiences because they're on his channel, not mine.
All right. Well, I'll let you go ahead and do what you got.
No, Chris, you're right. You cater to audiences that support sex offenders. Like, I hate to keep coming back to that, but I literally covered this in like a 30-minute video, how you support D. Garrett, who is a convicted sex offender. He molested his 12-year-old sister. That's who you support, Chris. That's who you brought to Meade County to help you. That's who Tiffany was hanging out with. A guy who molested his 12-year-old sister, who as of February or March of this year was cyber stalking her to the point where she kept having to block him over and over and over and over and over. You know how I know these things? Oh, that's right, because I was literally talking to her a whole yesterday ago on TikTok. Oh, shit. Journalism. Gasp. Instead of just saying, trust me, bro, like you did with D. Garrett, I actually investigated the situation. Gasp. Yes, he molested a 12-year-old girl. That's who you support, Chris. Never fucking forget it.
All right.
I will be right back.
So, Stone Vet. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Stone Vet, I'm glad you're watching, buddy, because you blocked me for telling the truth about you. I mean, don't you stand on that whole thing? You don't block people just for having an opposing opinion? Because that's all I brought was, actually, it wasn't even an opinion. It was just some facts. Stone Vet. So here you are selling your drugs on your little weak-ass channel that you're just so happy that after, 5 years of you attempting to get anybody to watch you, that now you have 40 more people overnight. But you had to do it by stabbing me and...
Okay, let me see here. Stone Vet. Sorry, I'm literally have my phone on a little thing over here specifically so I could look shit up. Stone Vet has in chat 92 people in chat right now. He's got 92 people in chat when a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, he would have over 100. Maybe it's just an off stream. Maybe 8 people are, I don't know, eating lunch, whatever. He's doing well. He's doing equally as well as he was when he was not covering Chris. Also, the fact that he's like, oh, you had to do it on the back of me and Tiffany. Bitch, to my knowledge, I was even on panel. How is this going to work? We'll just do it this way. Like, even weapons, I did it so that GE Swag could get on there. If you can delete it, that would be swell.
Am I echoing?
Nah, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Let me delete that link real quick. Actually, weapons, can you do it? Because I can't do it on my phone for whatever reason. Or Ed or whoever. But yeah, I believe Stone Vet, I was on panel with him 3 years ago at this point. And even though me and Stone Vet at the time were actively streaming about each other, talking shit, we came together on that stream to laugh at Chris and to tell him how stupid he is. But for some reason, Chris is like, oh, he turned his back on me and Tiffany. It's such a new thing. It's like, no, it happened years ago, bro. But yeah, G Swag, you want to throw anything in here real quick?
Oh, yeah. To Todd and O'Cara Chris, now it's 100% tribalism. If you don't support them 100%, it's like cult. They're a cult. You're not with them, you're against them. So
well, it's funny you bring that up. It's funny you bring that up. I made mention of that yesterday. I want to say somebody's chat. So many people go live about similar things that I forget where I'm at when I'm making comments. But Todd wants to be a cult leader. He wants to be a cult leader and wants nobody to ask him questions because he's in charge. And I noticed it when he started wearing, what was it? That fucking white hoodie or whatever. And it's just like, Todd, I see what you're doing.
Darth Anus.
Yeah, it's like you look less like a fucking cult leader, more like Colonel Sanders. Like, calm down, bro. But yeah,
I want to touch on something real quick that Chris, every time he gets on panel or even in the chat, he just shows his closeted homosexuality, man, and how he hates himself. Everything's a faggot. Everything's gay. You know, it's like, just come out of the closet, Chris.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Well, I deleted it, guys. I was unaware that that's how that worked, but I guess that does make sense. Turns out moderators can't delete comments by the person who owns the channel. That should be common sense, but I guess I've never tried to do that before. Weird. But yeah, I'm gonna stream this probably until Todd takes it down, which, seeing as how me and Stone Vet are both covering it damn near at the same time, I don't think this is going to be up for very much longer.
Tiffany. That's how you had to do it, because you needed the Kaiser audience, which is what you got. So you're plus 40. You're just catering to the Kaiser audience. You claim that Kaiser was a bad guy, Stone Vet. You claim that he's a piece of shit. But here you are now, man, doing exactly the same thing.
Yes, Stone Vet is doing the exact same thing as everybody else, calling Wrangler a piece of shit. And then his subscribers are going, oh, shit, I guess you're right. I guess I can support you because you called that out. This motherfucker acts like Stone Vet is over there gobbling the dick of Wrangler right now. And it's like, no, he will tell you any chance he gets that he hates the guy.
Yeah. Two things can be the same. You know, you can not like somebody and call somebody out.
Yeah, or like an audience's mind can be changed or swayed by new information.
Or they can simply support you because you're calling out Chris. I mean, they don't have to be a blind devotee, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But apparently, according to Chris, Stone Vet is just picking up the fucking Wrangler torch and doing the exact same thing. And it's like, nice. In my opinion, Stone Vet has not changed.
No.
At all. Since the first time I watched his stream till 5 seconds ago when I was in his chat. He has not changed at all.
The only thing that's quote unquote changed is he's finally saw what a piece of shit and a pathological liar Chris is. You know. Also, I want to point out to Stone Vet, I am going to steal your setups for some streams, because he's like sitting on his couch from his TV, and he just puts the fucking video he's watching at the bottom of his stream, and you can see his whole living room. And I was like, I'm gonna steal that shit.
Kaiser was doing. The only thing different is that you weren't caught robbing people and putting yourself into positions where it's on record that you were hurting people. Like, you know what I'm talking.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But isn't Chris also on record for hurting people? Court documents don't lie, bud.
I should just call him Projection Stream when he gets online, man. I mean, that's all he does is project.
It's like, Chris, you can't lie to people who have literally done a deep dive of you and found fucking everything about your life. There's even a fucking, an interview with your ex-girlfriend who that case is against. So even her words go with what the court case said. So
everybody else is wrong.
Yeah.
But me.
It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
These dumbasses share the same tinfoil hat. Talking about Stone Vet. I'm being real careful not to violate TOS right now, which is more than you can say, buddy. Which is more than you can say.
Didn't he violate TOS?
Let Chris have free reign on his channel for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Chris violate terms of service so badly he got his channel deleted?
Oh, let me go the Wayback Machine. Yep.
Check. Correct. Like, Chris, what are you doing? If this was everyone's first day on the internet, maybe you'd be like, oh man, maybe Chris is the victim. But if you've been on the internet for more than 5 seconds, you're like, oh, this dude's a fucking idiot.
I'll bet you even this little animal muppet would even agree with me if
he was being honest.
Jeff would agree with me if he was being honest about you. I'm sure that it would be hard for him because he also has acquired many of the Kaiser audience. But
he's so mad at everybody trying to get them, even his quote friends.
These, established, intelligent military veterans who are on the greater good side of things, and now you're showing yourself.
I'm just waiting for Chris to call Hill Pirate a fucking wooden tooth meth head retard or whatever the fuck Todd calls him, and that's me knowing that I don't think you like Hill Pirate. Like,
no, I can't stand you.
And you notice how his fucking picture's been up the whole time and you haven't gone on a giant tirade of fucking, oh, he's out to get me, he's doxing me, he's fucking he's DDoSing me, he's hacking me.
I know he's so mad, but he thought all these people were friends, you know, like legit friends, and now they've seen the light and now they're enemies. How dare you?
And let me I hate it because I hated it in the military. Now I say it all the time. iBooger News, what's up? I'm going to piggyback off what you just said. It's not even that they saw the light. It's that everything that Chris has done, there's literally screenshots, video evidence of him doing what he's accused of doing. So it's just like, it's not like a trust me bro type situation. It's like, well, they saw what you did and then bang, they changed their opinion. All right, I guess we shall continue this way until GE Swag returns.
Don't die, dog. Wrong windpipe.
The fuck is he talking about?
Oh, I got you.
Dropped out for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I love how if you wait long enough in this environment, in this YouTube environment, that people's actual true motives and personalities, you know, the more you listen to somebody, the more you watch somebody, the longer it takes, you start realizing who those people really are.
Yeah, Chris, that's what they did with you.
Unfortunately, along with that, sometimes comes that you will find yourself greatly disappointed.
And that's why Chris and Todd basically have no audience anymore. Because people have stuck around and go, oh, this guy's racist and this guy's retarded. Oh, I'm going to move on. But they're just projecting. They're taking things that apply to them and trying to push it onto other people. And it's almost comical at this point because these guys are in like their, 50s? But they have the mindset of like a toddler. Some would say a re-toddler, but yeah.
In the people that you thought were better. And that applies to you, Josh. That applies to you entirely. I see what you're doing. You're selling weed to the Kaiser audience. You're selling lies to the Kaiser audience. I've caught you directly in your lies that you're using a YouTube platform to try to cause damage to good people. And that includes myself and Tiffany. You know that we're victims in all this. And what are you doing? You're a
Aha! You're not the victim. You are literally the defendant. This is the shit that I hate. You are the defendant. You are not a victim. You have created victims, myself included. GE Swag, some would say you would be a victim of his as well.
Yep.
Rumor has it in this video, he re-victimizes a few people.
Yeah, he also threatens to dox people for simply disagreeing with him. And he's threatened to dox and give their information and addresses to Todd.
Oh, okay. Todd already has my address. Everybody has my address, Chris. I just think it's very depressing that a guy who is a confirmed liar just keeps lying. And he's trying to lie his way out of a wet paper bag. And it's just not going to work.
In the audience that's been trying to damage us all along by helping them damage us. Very, very great move for a fucking established, fucking prominent, good military veteran with friends in the government, motherfucker. And then you block me. You block me. Why'd you block me? Because you can't argue the truth, can you, Stone Vet? I was telling the truth, and you don't want anybody to recognize that.
Chris, you hate veterans. We get it, bro.
You're a bad person, dude. You don't want people knowing that. And the things I was saying made you argue that you were not a bad person, doing bad things to hurt innocent people.
Also, I've never seen Stone Vet try to sell weed on YouTube. I think there'd be like I think there's terms of service against selling weed on YouTube. I've seen a lot of ads. Weed has never been one of them.
So yeah, Stone Vet, you know, you're catching a little bit of truth, and it sucks for you, doesn't it, buddy? It sucks for you to catch the truth, because what are you really? You're a guy who can't argue that you're not a bad person, because maybe you are a bad person, dude.
I'm an asshole.
Maybe you're a bad person.
You guys know
with
that.
some kind of fucking addiction to drugs. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe that's why you sit all alone with your fucking fat dog and cry about other people on the internet all day, and your little goofy ass laugh, your fake ass goofy laugh. All that is.
Is Chris really saying this right now? Oh, you sit at home with your fat dog and your goofy laugh, and it's just like
100% projection, man.
Chris, that's you.
Yeah. The more he gets triggered, the more he projects.
It's like, Chris, I've seen you sit fucking Blanket Fort HQ chain smoking, which some would consider nicotine and addiction, or a drug, chain smoking off your ass with your little nervous laugh, just like fucking Todd. People get close to your shit and you try to act like it's not bothering you, and then you give your little fucking Chris Ryder laugh. We've been making fun of this guy's laugh for fucking years. But now he's coming at Stone Vet of all people. Hey, KFARR is an asshole. And that is out there.
This is a confirmation for yourself. You're trying to confirm that your audience, which is Kaiser's audience, thinks you're funny when you do things to hurt people. So you laugh. You little fake ass laugh. Even your dog sees through you, dude. Even your dog sees through you. So I'm glad you're watching, Stone Vet. Glad you're watching.
I'm glad you're watching, Stone
You did
Vet.
block me because you didn't want to have this conversation. And look, I challenge you any day, anytime, any platform, any channel. I don't give a fuck. Come up and talk to me one-on-one. If you're going to tell your audience right now what you are, you're probably sitting there saying, oh my God, listen to Chris Ryder lying about me. Well, prove it, bitch. Get on a panel with me.
No, here's the problem with Chris Ryder. Here's the problem. G-Swag, you know this problem. Anytime you try to debate Chris or have a conversation with Chris in good faith, he will lie. He will yell over you. Great example. I don't know if Anya's still here, but it's still on your channel, where we were all on panel with Chris. And I got him to admit that his case was about beating his ex-girlfriend. And then right after that, what did he say? Oh, that's AI. That's out of context. That's not what I said. And it's just like, bitch, that's word for word what you said. Never.
It gets even worse when GJ gets up there.
No, GJM, the guy from the other day.
Yeah, remember how low key he was, and he kept on talking about exercises and I hear what you're saying. Well, he gets up here and he's animated, man. He's like almost yelling. He's like, man, I can't understand. Your rights being taken. I mean, it's so fake, man.
Talk about some facts together. Last time I was on a panel with you, I fucking told you to shut the fuck up and quit being a hypocrite and to get fucked, and that's what you did. You went and got fucked. So get on a panel with me, dude.
Get on a panel with me, bro.
You can counter what I'm saying. Get on a panel with me.
All right, brother. I am back, Chris. I do apologize. Thanks for kind of carrying some water there, and kind of probably running out of shit to talk. But yeah, I mean, it is very fascinating to really unplug it. How it's all is morphed. But here's the interesting thing: the vicious personal attacks and going after family members, that seems to be remaining consistent. There's a theme, and there's almost like there's a direction or an organizer, because there's definitely an organization.
Going after someone's family or family members, man, that sure seems like what Todd and Chris do.
It's mind-boggling how they can't see. I often wonder if they do see it and they don't give a shit, so they're just gonna laugh at the narrative, or they're that stupid that they can't comprehend that.
So I think what they're doing is they're trying to muddy the waters. They see what they do, so they're like, well, that works out really well for them, so I'm gonna accuse them of the same thing.
Yeah, and here in a second, he talks about someone doing a continuance. That means that it don't mean I'm guilty. It just means I'm trying to find the truth in it, and all these people are breaking rules against me. That's why I'm getting continued. I'm like, for 3 years.
Yeah, I think I've gone over this before. If I was innocent of a case, or innocent of a charge, I would want it to go to court in front of a jury as quickly as possible, so I could clear my good name. But since they don't have good names, they're not really worried about it. They're like, we'll drag this out. Maybe the prosecution will get bored.
I think he's going to want to get more charges so he can get more continuances. That way he can keep on putting it off.
Yeah, well, Your Honor, I did have 20, but now I have 30. So obviously I need to prepare for the new charges. Like I said in my post, if this ever goes to jury trial in my lifetime, I might drive down to Kentucky and watch. Like, I can't deal with this shit. This should have gone. I don't want to bring it up. Carmelo Anthony murdered someone in April of 2025. And his case has already gone to court and he was found guilty. But Chris Ryder's sitting on almost 24 charges and it's been almost 3 years. What are we doing?
An unaliving case, mind you, with national implications. And it's done like, what, in a year and a half?
Yeah, it was literally like April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, one of those days of 2025. And it just got done like 2 days ago. But somehow Chris has managed to kick the can down the road. And who even knows if this guy's got an attorney anymore? Like, he had an attorney jumped ship.
Oh,
did he find a new one?
Well, he's going to try to use that for however long the court's going to let him use it.
Yeah,
because he said, I'm talking to somebody and I'm supposed to meet them Thursday. And when he got over Thursday, well, they're supposed to be here.
They should tell him, Chris, here's a public defender. Your jury trial's next week. We'll see you there.
And if you get convicted on everything, appeal and say you had horrible, representation.
Yeah, only for the court to show the evidence of like, hey, you actually had the best attorney in the state
for
like 2 years and you managed to fumble that. So
you spent $50,000 on this attorney and he didn't finish the case?
Yeah, he spent $50,000 on an attorney to get 2 years more of freedom.
I would figure the attorney would finish the case just on merit.
Nope.
Looks like my internet.
It's an influence, is the way I put it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Look like my, I don't know if
my end. I had
being
a
DDoS.
message come through. It might have jarred the internet for a second.
No, my OBS, my KBPS kilobytes per second just dropped almost like into the red. It's been a pretty normal thing where it seems like my connection's under attack.
Your connection's not under attack, Todd. It's that you're trying to play 12 and a half different things in the background while fucking streaming. As a man who tried to stream from a laptop for years, you can do one thing with that laptop while you're streaming. You can't be playing, what was he playing earlier? I think he was playing State of Decay 2, very underrated game. It's a pretty good game, but you can't be playing that while trying to stream, while playing a video, while trying to have somebody else on panel with you. Yeah, KT said, that's what I said. I've been saying that for years. He probably could have already served his sentence and been out by now if he would have just taken a plea deal or took it to court, took it to jury trial in the first 6 months. Yeah, this is something that kind of kills me about Todd. Todd constantly goes after, oh, my connection's under attack. More than likely, Todd isn't hardwired. Ew, why did I just have twang on the back of wired? How now, brown cow? The arsonist has oddly shaped feet. I'm back. Yeah, he's probably not hardwired to his laptop. If his laptop even has a port for a hardwired connection. I doubt his laptop is spec'd out to be playing State of Decay 2 while streaming and playing a YouTube video. I'll never understand. I'll never understand.
Every other aspect of my internet seems to work fine.
That's weird.
Yeah. So so tomorrow you have court 10:30. I'm planning on being there. Unless something good.
It's a public interest case.
Mm.
Anytime the government is trying to
is he going to play victim? Is he going to play victim? I think he's going to play victim. Anytime a government agency tries to attack a reporter, it's a public interest case. No, you've made some, in my opinion, he's made some very, 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 very slanderous, defamatory statements about somebody that were obviously not true. And now that he's being held accountable, he wants to be the victim. Let's see.
Do anything legally towards a citizen. I mean, that would be very much a public interest.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of reasons why I'm interested in checking it out. What up, Mr. Mimsy? I'm interested in checking it out for a couple of reasons. One of which is I want to see what works, what doesn't work. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of being a matter of public interest is seeing how these cases play out, I mean, we as civilians I think we should educate ourselves to know what to do when the government comes after you, Like I've often said to people that reach out to me and say, hey, I'm a victim of the government now. Look at this incident that occurred to me. And I find myself a lot of times feeling and sounding like an asshole when I say, damn, man, the only real resolution to this would have been if you had known what to do at that time, which is in the past. And then I'm like, I am not trying to be an asshole when I tell you that you should have already known what to do. But that's the truth. You should have already known what to do. And how are we to learn these things if we don't involve ourselves in the processes?
Yeah, the thing for me is, like I said, I'm trying to tread very carefully. I want to make sure that there's an understanding that I'm there to observe and report and as unbiased as I can. I know a lot of people are going to be like, bullshit, you're on so-and-so side, you're on such and such side or whatever. I know people are going to have their own narratives to speak. I'm genuinely there to observe and report because a lot of this stuff is new to me. Yeah, sorry about the buffering, guys. I had a bad spike there. I doubt that your internet access is being attacked. It sounds like somebody that would attack my internet, I would say. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, make a long story short, I'm very much interested because I see a lot of these things are happening to me, even from, like I said earlier, a private citizen is trying to utilize the government against me in order to get me slapped, basically, to put a slap on me. And I think that there should be criminal repercussions to utilizing the government, right?
Well, there's a statute there. I mean, there's a whole section in every state of statutory law that falls in that category.
So isn't it great that Chris tries to pretend that he's like on par with a lawyer? But then every time he gets in front of a judge, oh, I don't know, judge. I'm just a simple country bumpkin. I don't know much about law. I don't know. It was my attorney. I don't know. But then when he gets on panel with people, he pretends he's the end all be all of legal representation. What are we doing? What are we doing? If you're so good at the law, Chris, why don't you just represent yourself and take it to court? You and Tiffany, the dream legal team, why don't you just take it to court? Represent yourself. Also, with this whole Todd, I know you're going to end up watching this or restreaming this and sounding like a half-tard yourself. I'm a caveman. So the fact that you're over here trying to, oh, people are attacking my internet. I don't even know the first thing about my own internet. So there's no way in hell I could attack yours. Maybe you're trying to use your Wi-Fi in the basement when your router's upstairs. There's 157 different reasons.
And for some reason, he can't get it fixed.
Yeah, what's that term? Where it's like the easiest answer is more than likely the right one. It's like maybe take one of your USB ports out, switch it for an Ethernet cable fucking dongle, and fucking plug in. I know personally my internet will varies 500 megabytes a second, whether I'm hardwired or using Wi-Fi. Yeah, like I know nothing. I know nothing about technology. But this guy's always like, oh, people are attacking my internet, and I know who it is. It's like,
did you plug it in and unplug it?
Yeah, did you turn it off for 19 seconds or whatever the manual says and then try to plug it back in? I can imagine his router hasn't been reset in like a decade. It's actually just run by a chicken, walking on a treadmill. Like, the chicken's tired,
And it's the word that, it's the big tinfoil hat word that gets blown out of proportion.
Conspiracy.
It's in conspiracy, right? And the lawyer you were watching earlier today was talking about it too. She's saying there's a whole sector of law in the section of conspiracy in every state, and this very much fits. When a group of people are being influenced, that's part of the statutory requirement to the word, to the law.
Okay, Chris, suck a dick. Oh, if a lot of people are being influenced by what? Court documents and fucking evidence? Are you? So
I love how he's so confident and got a big old bass in his voice when he's talking to other people, especially Todd, about legal stuff. But when he gets in the front of the judge, Your Honor,
he kind of like hunches over a little bit while he's in court, and he throws a little bit more twang onto his accent. I don't, it was my attorney. I really don't know what's going on, Your Honor. I'm just a country bumpkin. I don't know. But yeah, now he's fucking with all the bass in his voice, standing up straight, trying to tell Todd what's what.
Yeah, you need to be doing this, and they messed up here. So what you need to do, but in court's like, Your Honor, my lawyer left me.
Yeah, it's like, it's hard to. Chris takes everything literally in the law, and that's not how the law is meant to be read. Like, oh, well, conspiracy, you need to have this many people be influenced. Okay, so if I watched a court, like somebody covering a court document about somebody, and then 15 million other people watch that same thing and read that same court document, is that a conspiracy? Because that's what Chris just said. That would count as a conspiracy. Okay, bring that to court.
Well, it's trying to gaslight the term influencer now.
Yeah, they watched a video, and they all seen some court documents, and now they're just all being influenced, It's a conspiracy, Your Honor. It's like, no, that's just factual information. They don't like you because they read the factual information about it.
That's the news, Chris.
If the factual information makes you look bad, that's on you. It's not a conspiracy that other people don't like you because of factual information. Same thing with his, and there goes GE swag. In the words of a great band, the Foo Fighters, there goes my hero. Man, maybe I should stream during the daytime more often. I think I'm more funny. But yeah, like all of this shit where he tries to cover harassment and shit like that. It's like, no, that's what a normal person would consider. Just because you want to be in your field being a bitch doesn't mean it's automatically illegal. I was annoyed. Okay, cool, Chris. I've been annoyed with you for fucking 5 years. Does that mean I can sue you because I'm annoyed with you? No.
Hey, I'll be right back, people.
Okie doke. Yeah, so I have to upgrade it. I have my routers downstairs in my kitchen. With that said, I had to run. My kitchen looks like a mess right now until my actual cord gets here. I'm running a cord outside of my house to my office for my computer, just so I could be hardwired. That's how committed I am to not skipping out. I literally just did this at the beginning of the week, haven't dropped out of a stream since. But Todd, hardwire your shit, bro. Maybe bring the router to the basement steps. Or maybe I don't know what Todd's address is. I don't know what his house looks like. I have to assume there's probably a room upstairs that you could probably move your office into. And you'd be closer to the router. It wouldn't be having to go through 47 different walls and floors.
Conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a whole section. It's not just one charge, you know. It's a whole section of law. And it's also in federal law under Title 18.
Title 18.
Yeah, I mean, it's
18, Section 241 and 242. Conspiracy against rights and deprivation against rights. Like, we get it, Chris. You want to kill us. That's the only reason you guys... let me just fucking bring it up so I can fucking quote it to you guys, because this is the only reason that these cocksuckers bring this shit up. All right. 18 USC 241, conspiracy against rights. If you scroll to the bottom to look at this is what you'll get if you do this to me. Ready? You guys aren't going to believe it. They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both if a death results from the acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include kidnapping or an attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or attempt to commit aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to kill. They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years for life or both, or may be sentenced to death. And because frauditors and sovereign citizens include being legally arrested as kidnapping, they want to do the bottom part there, or may be sentenced to death. And if you go to next, I'm not showing you guys the screen. I'm just talking to myself at this point. 18 USC 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. If you scroll to the bottom, wouldn't you know it? Imprisoned for any term of years or life or both, or be sentenced to death. We get it, bro. You want to skip to the bottom and just behead everyone that fucking disagrees with you. We fucking get it. You aren't the first person that we've gone down this road with. You're probably not going to be the last, but you're definitely not the first.
The whole thing is it's quite. I'm finding it to be fascinating, this whole process.
Interesting.
My goal is this, and I'm looking for as many people that are being attacked in this way, trying to have the state utilized against them in order to take away their First or the Second or other rights, Fourth Amendment violations. I'm really motivated to try to get some punitive damages, some criminal charges brought up against some of these folks for doing it. I want to make it so it's so freaking painful that it'll make an example out of them. Does that make sense? But I don't want it to be extrajudicial. I want it to be within the letter.
So the fact that I have both of these people on record referring to me as a sex offender and pedophile, do your worst. Do your worst. I would file a countersuit. I would take one person's house, one person's rented house, their vehicles, their dog. It would be grand. If you're admitting on stream right now that you're trying to file knowingly false litigation of people because they correct you, because they cover you in a journalistic sense, because you're always fucking wrong. do better. What's more wrong? Calling someone a sex offender or pedophile, or correcting retards on the internet? Which one's gonna have the legal consequences? I think we all know.
Of the law and upright and respectable.
And look, it might be another reason to follow my case because I'm ahead of you already. I'm doing it.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at.
Yep. That's exactly where I'm interested. I want to see how this goes. I want to see what works, what doesn't work, what I need to plan for.
And also, Chris, you're not doing that. She's doing it to you. You are being sued. You created a victim. That victim took it upon themselves to sue you. Oh, I'm already heady. No, you're getting fucking dunked on. I've seen the record. You're getting dunked on. She's literally elbow in the rim, fucking young Vince Carter style. You're getting dunked on.
What I need to be wary of. Yeah. So you ready to get back?
And remember, you know, every case is slightly different. You just need to understand the foundation of what's going on. You know, yeah, it gets complicated, obviously, and I always recommend a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I also recommend that you know what you're talking about when you call a lawyer. So, like, if you don't, and when I think I said earlier, you know, you got to involve yourself in cases. What I meant by that, not was actually put yourself into the situation, but like
become familiar,
watch it, yeah, understand it, you know, get to know it. Just like you know, when you were in high school, you were being taught history. You didn't have to actually go participate in the Civil War to learn about the Civil War. Same thing with these with these judicial situations. You don't have to participate. Just go learn. You know, involve yourself to the extent in which you're hearing what's being done, seeing what's being done, understanding the processes. You know, learning about it. Because once it happens to you, you're probably, like, the moment it happens, you're already probably too far gone if you don't understand it when it happens.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it's kind of like getting steamrolled, honestly.
I'll make a good example for you. I can use a good example of how it's already too late once it's happened to you. When the Department of Child Services shows up to take one of your kids, as soon as they've already came and you've talked to them and you've participated in their surveys and all that stuff. I mean, any lawyer will tell you that because they know the law. They're like, when they knock on the door, just going, I can't talk to you without my attorney. You know, lawyers will tell you that because they understand the process already. Well, that's the same thing that you should have already known. And that's what the lawyers are trying to tell you. Well, how could you already know if it's never happened to you? Well, then it's too late. So you're supposed to learn. There is a way to already know. The way to already know.
Again, I just want to point out, they're live streaming. Todd is live streaming, and he just booted up State of Decay 2, which is a great zombie game. I mentioned this before. Great zombie game. But you're doing that while streaming and then complaining like, oh, I don't know why my internet keeps dropping everything. That's why.
Is to study and be there and be present, meaning follow the court cases, learn, educate yourself about the processes, understand what your rights are, understand what the crimes are too, so you don't accidentally commit any. Like these, I really feel like a lot of these fools that are watching Stone Vet right now, who are watching us right now, I feel like there's a lot in there that fit into that category. They're just ignorant to the fact that they are committing crimes together.
Somebody streaming and correcting the record, and then people in chat laughing, that's not a crime. It's just not. It's not harassment. It's not stalking. It's not anything. I want nothing to do with these fuckers. The fact that I went into GS's chat, corrected Tyrants Beware, and then got blocked or timed out, that's not a crime either. I wonder how many tabs he has open. Oh, God. Well, he's got to be watching. He's probably got Restream or Streamlabs or OBS open. He's got to be on YouTube, probably watching Stone Vet, watching myself, and then creeping on Boot and Killa's channel. He's got Steam open, or however you get State of Decay 2. Probably got like fucking 10 tabs open. Also, I just want to point out to Chris, if you guys, some of you might not like DirectD. He put out a decent story. It was pretty good, actually. It's better than decent. It's a pretty good story. Where he has a phone call between Chris Ryder and a reporter that, in my opinion, Chris is trying to use to third-party communicate with his victim. Some would call that a crime. Not Chris. Chris is just trying to find ways around the rules to further victimize his victim. And it's disgusting.
And again, and they say, what's the old saying? Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. Oh, did I lose you?
Well, that's what a judge will tell you in a courtroom when you're charged.
Yeah, you should have known better.
The judge will say, hey, man, you should have known. You should have already known this stuff. So when these people start getting dragged in because the discovery process takes place, which has already started in one of my cases, by the way, discovery for YouTubers. As that starts happening and people get dragged into it, because they were involved, they're going to learn real quick. They should have already known this shit, because the judge is going to look them right in the eye in the courtroom and say, ignorance is no excuse to you violating the law. Like, it's clearly statutory. You had the opportunity to read it. It's been public on all of our, it's been available on websites. It should have been taught to you by, as you were growing up. Like, this shit's illegal. You got no excuse. I can't lessen your charges because you
so curious on what he's
know
talking
it was illegal
about.
what you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself that there's so many pitfalls though, in the legal system, and you have to have a lawyer. Not for everything. Like for instance, a person who's suing me currently is 0-3 so far versus Tim Matthews, the father of a particular person that I guess is decedent.
He isn't supposed to be talking about Rabbit or Rabbit's deceased wife. Yet here he is talking about Rabbit and his deceased wife.
Somehow I'm not allowed to talk about, even though it's been adjudicated that the court has no jurisdiction over the decedent. How that slipped past or was not checked and balanced and researched, and the due diligence wasn't done. But it seems to have been granted. But actually, I'm not even sure if it was granted.
I didn't.
Go ahead.
I don't know that was
The best thing to do about it, Todd, is fucking not talk about it.
Was granted. I would highly doubt it. I think it's being misinterpreted by the people that are filing, and
go ahead.
And influencing their followers to agree with it and continue to push that narrative. I don't think a judge told you that you could not express your First Amendment rights on the situation.
All right, are we gonna play that game? Okay, we can play that game. We can play that game. Let me bring it up. Let me try to find this real quick. Let me see if I can find Rabbit's page for whatever reason. Okay. Let me go to posts. Temporary injunction for protection against stalking. Page 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see here. No contact. Unless otherwise provided herein, respondent shall have no contact with petitioner. Respondent shall not directly or indirectly contact petitioner in person, by mail, email, fax, telephone, through another person, or in any other manner, including any electronic means, or have any third-party contact with anyone connected to the petitioner's employment or school to inquire about petitioner or to send them any messages. Unless otherwise provided herein, respondent shall not go to, in, or within 500 feet of, and it gives the petitioner's current address, and it says the following, if requested by petitioner, where petitioner's specific members of petitioner's family or individuals closely associated with the petitioner, William Barthel, the random chick that Todd already doxed, and then come to find out he got the wrong person and doxed some just random chick, and Rabbit's deceased wife. That's literally on the document. On the document that Todd was served with. That Finkel called, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, Finkel, you got one too. It's crazy.
I think the judge would have been more particular in saying, in regards to this particular situation, and then those would have been laid out in a way that doesn't violate your rights legally.
I think maybe what I got to do is I got to talk to my crack legal team and get with my crack legal team, who's headed by Tyrants Beware, by the way, and Mimsy, my international lawyer. I got to get with my crack legal team and find out. I mean, I just
just a troll. If somebody is giving you legal advice for free, and they're sitting on almost two dozen charges where their attorney left them, they can't find a new attorney, and it's been almost 3 years, maybe don't trust what they have to say. Just my opinion on the matter.
I think out of an overabundance of caution, it would probably be wise for me to be careful.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be wise for you to shut the fuck up.
Agreeable. Yeah. I'm doing the same thing. I know that there's a lot of things that I'm allowed by law to talk about, but I'm being extra careful by just not discussing any. Like, I'm not even putting any content out on my channel whatsoever right now because I don't have to, right? And I'm going to go to court and have that argument. I'm going to say, look, what's the deal? Like, I thought I was American. What happened to that? What happened to my rights? And have
what happened to your victims' rights, Chris? Justice delayed is justice denied. Your victims deserve justice in a timely fucking manner. And because of your own stupidity, They are not getting that. Are they not Americans? Oh, that's right. You only want your rights to go to you. You don't give a fuck about anybody else. You only care about you and your rights. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Agreement there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to seek punitive, meaning punishment, for the violations.
Well, I can say that I have noticed even though some folks are trying to help and support the channel and really overcompensating, I think, in a lot of different ways, and I greatly appreciate that support. I'm not able to run my channel as I should be able to run my channel. I'm not able to talk about matters of public interest as I should be able to talk about matters of public interest. And it's been artificially adjudicated upon me due to an overabundance of caution to make sure that I'm not making a victim out of the alleged victim. The court, I think, has to lean towards, hey, we can't let harm be done to this person if we have the jurisdiction or the ability to try to stop harm from happening. If the things that are being attested to under penalty of perjury are actually true.
I just want to point out that he's talking about this case again. Also, Todd, you're doing right now what you were doing 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a year and a half ago. You're doing exactly the same thing. You're watching some bullshit while playing video games. Your channel has not changed. Your viewership has changed, but that's it. That's the only thing about your channel has changed, is the fact that nobody watches it anymore.
And factual. Then
which is what's proven in court. That's what's proven in court. So, and a lawyer would probably suggest to you, like, hey, let's be cautious. Let's do this. They're probably even telling you this is temporary until we go to court or we can adjudicate it.
Right. And I get that. I do understand that part of it. I genuinely do. But it's one of those situations where it just feels like an egregious overreach. It's just an absolute egregious overreach. I'm not really quite sure how to proceed forward with it. The fact that I got a continuance, it kind of hurts in a way because
he's going to talk about his guns. He's got to talk about his guns. His emotional support holster is not with him, and he doesn't know how to feel.
Get it over with.
well, I want to get it over with, but it adds more time where I won't have access to self-defense and other normal tools of self-defense that I would normally have available to me.
Hey, Todd, didn't Chris file a TPO against you that got your weapons taken away only for them to get given back to you after the case? Isn't that the guy you're currently supporting on your panel? Man, that's fucking weird, isn't it? If BSBT ever wanted to fucking do some shit to me, and then after I was adjudicated innocent, he wanted to come up on my fucking panel, absolutely fucking not. I would pray every day that he fell off a fucking bridge. But Todd, nope. The almighty Todd, for the Lord gave his one and only son, fucking Todd, to forgive the... I wouldn't let that motherfucker anywhere near my page. I definitely wouldn't let him up on my page and then walk away for fucking 15 minutes to let my dog out. Clown show. That's what this is. Generally specific and for public safety, together they are a clown show.
And it sounds to some people like you're being dramatic, but you're not. Because these exact individuals, I can show you their photograph and tell you their real name and tell you their address if I wanted to. And I can say those people have made absolute threats and have a history of following through with these types of threats in the past. Like it literally is a dangerous situation.
Yeah,
by all means, if you have a video of me actually making a threat to someone or a history of following through on those threats, by all means, fucking make a video. I would love to sue you. It would be terrific. Oh, no, it wouldn't be terrific because neither one of you have anything to take, which is the only reason Chris has been safe to this point. He has nothing to take. His house flooded. Oh, psych. It's a rented house. The real owner's house flooded. Chris just happened to be there. Like, Chris doesn't realize that there's one person currently suing him for the love of the game. Just to make the point that if you do XYZ and slander me, I'll sue you. And they're doing it just for the love of the game. I have nothing to gain. Why would I spend thousands of dollars on an attorney for them to be like, he'll pay whenever he gets a real job, only for that never to happen.
I just actually had somebody I appreciate. I just had somebody recently email me even more information. We'll just say something out of South Carolina. I believe it was a criminal trespass case in which the petitioner and the complainant and the plaintiff, so to speak, all agreed that this person is not allowed to go into that particular place based on their behavior.
Based on their behavior is the key part of it.
Yeah, and they signed it. So kind of going to be hard to kind of weasel out of that.
Oh, here, you know what? Fuck it. We'll We'll pause this for a second, guys. We'll pause this for a second because I have something to show you. I have something to show you guys that isn't funny. It isn't funny at all. But it's going to come back to bite Chris in the ass. Let's see if this video is still up and that I can find it. I think it'll be still up because it was a good fucking video. Oh shit. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? Let's play this beautiful bean footage real quick. And then we'll get back to this. But this is just Chris being Chris. This is who Chris is. I don't know why I keep bringing it up like that, but all right, this is who Chris is. This is Chris's behavior.
No care in the world.
Why are you thinking about her when she gets older?
Because I'm worried.
You're sick.
Life. I think that an abusive person.
Sick. You are a sick little man. You are a sick individual. You need to seek help. You're sick, dude.
Answer the question. How'd you make it through prison?
Chris, I'll stop picking on you if you go get help.
I don't fucking need help, man. I'm not the one over here fucking abusing children.
I really think that you need help. I seriously believe that.
I really think
I seriously think that you actually need some real help, maybe some medication.
What you need is to be choked all the way out until you stop fucking breathing.
That's weird. That. I will never understand why Chris says these things. I'm going to show you another thing before we go back to this, because again, it's very, very, very telling. Let's see here. Oh, nope, that's Todd being an idiot. Oh, this is where I want. Okay. A crisp 16-second video. A crisp 16-second video. Let me bring this up because this is just the shit that we have to deal with Chris all the fucking time. Ready for this?
Guys, he finally admitted it. Listen to this.
Oh, I mean, she sold herself, so.
What are you talking about?
Georgette. Who are you talking about?
Is that the person you got assault for on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I already knew the answer. I just wanted you to say it. But no, up here on panel. Boom. Boom, roasted. Boom. This is the shit that we have to deal with Chris. Shit that is publicly available on YouTube. There was no out of context nonsense. He was talking about somebody. I asked is that the person you have assault for on? And immediately answered, yes. And now he'll tell you that it's AI, it's out of context. That's not what he really said. He'll add extra shit. Oh, I actually said this. No, you said yes. And then I said, yeah, I'm already aware because that's what the court record says. I will never understand this nonsense. I just won't. Because it's very clear what has taken place. But Chris is always like, well, I'm the victim. And it's like, you sure about that?
So, I don't know. I'm just kind of struggling a little bit.
He's on the struggle
I'm just
bus.
struggling a little bit with the mountain of evidence that I've gathered. And I don't think it's all that's out there against this person that's been attacking me.
It gets overwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's just so many data points.
Yep.
That show that
you would utilize it in an argument to prove, and yeah.
Also, you having witnesses that may have some shady backgrounds. I believe one is a drug addict. One was trying to get raw dogged by Rabbit. Not exactly the greatest witnesses, especially when it's you did XYZ to him, and that's the case. If you want them to talk about something that's out of the scope of the case, the judge probably isn't going to give two shits what they have to say, because that doesn't have anything to do with what you've done to him. Now, if you're innocent, it is what it is. You get your weapons back. Everybody goes their separate ways. You can continue talking whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But until then, shut the fuck up. Gather your evidence and then continue shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
When they use the internet like this to, in the statute under conspiracy, when they use the internet like this, they think they're not giving you any evidence, which is exactly entirely opposite. Every time, like KFARR literally just did it with this, in this live stream. I just saw it. He posted, he said something like, a screenshot of me in the chat and saying, this motherfucker, with a fake narrative that sides against me in a courtroom that's in a proceeding. you know, that is evidence that
I made one comment that was, I'm here to talk shit to Todd because I'm blocked or something like that. Good luck with that.
I am going to use. And not only am I going to use it, but Kevin, the real person, Farrar, could very well receive a letter in the mail from a state in which says, congratulations, the things that were supplied to the judge that you have done over the past 3 years that we've seen proof to has given us the ability to serve you with legal proceedings. Like,
and at that day, I would have the biggest, baddest attorney walk into the state of Indiana, kick the door off the state of Indiana, and I would own everything that has to do with Chris Ryder's life. I would take the house he owns, the fucking TV he watches. I would take the blanket fort that he stays in. I would take his cigarettes. I would take his horses. I would take his cars. I would take the fucking grass off his front lawn. That's just what happens. The fact that he has actively slandered me, I would own everything. So the fact that Chris thinks that because I've covered videos in a journalistic sense with factual information, the fact that he thinks the state of Indiana is going to do anything to me, that's a joke. That's a joke. I would literally just play everything that I just played. Yeah, I just show that he said this. And they'd be like, oh, did you actually say that? And he would say, oh, that's AI. That's AI. And he would spurg out in court. Okay.
Summons. Maybe you'll be called to court as a witness. Maybe he'll become a party to a crime. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So my point is,
oh,
is that
Chris, are you accusing someone with no criminal history of committing a crime because they don't agree with you? That's weird.
These people who are thinking that they're not giving evidence in our favor, that they think they're helping the other side, right? All they're doing is giving us a mountain of evidence to use against them. But what you're saying, Todd, and I'm glad you're starting to see it too. You're learning what I've been going through, is that, and I hate that you did it, you know, that it's personal for you. Like, I don't wish it on anybody, don't get me wrong.
I hear you.
But you're starting to see it's an overwhelming amount to collect, store, organize, and apply in the different places where it's going to be necessary throughout the process. It's overwhelming.
It really is.
But look at it like this, on a positive note. Look at it the other side real quick. Let's say that your car was robbed, for example.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We would pick the bones of his life clean, not the actual person that is Chris Ryder. Nothing's going to happen to Chris. He's just going to lose everything. He's going to be nickel and dimed like we're all an angry ex-wife. Oh, you think you get to keep the change in the couch cushions? Nah, that's gone. We'd come through, we'd walk through, we'd be taking the shitty paintings off the wall, the fucking 60s, 70s wallpaper. We're ripping that shit off the wall and taking it with us. The garbage cans outside, we're taking those with us as well. That's the thing about us actually having evidence. Wait, you think we're not all collecting this on YouTube, Chris? You don't think this could be used as evidence? You are literally admitting that you're going to possibly create knowingly false litigation against people who have corrected you on the internet. That couldn't backfire at all, Chris. Make that make sense.
In your driveway, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have just a statement by a neighbor who saw a shadow figure in your car and then run away? Or would you rather have 10 versions of security camera footage that caught him? Would you rather have another security footage from down the street and down the street and down the street and all these different security footages that caught the person all the way to where they live? Would you rather have, 10 people who witnessed it at the same?
Oh, you mean like when Broken System, Broken Trust came to my house and you were like, oh, that's great, good job. And I had him on my camera and the neighbor's camera running to the car. Man, that's weird. Do better, Chris.
Time, would you rather have, fingerprints left on your car, like all this evidence? Would you rather have all of this evidence if you're trying to hold that person accountable, or would you rather just have one little tiny piece that's just a thread that doesn't prove it?
I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd rather not have people come after me in the first place. But and again, that's just not really answering your question. And I do apologize. But if I had my druthers, I'd prefer to not have people do criminal things for me not breaking the law toward me and my family. I don't identify myself.
I would love that too, Todd, but your boy Chris just said that he's planning on doing that to people who haven't broken the law.
As a victim per se, but there's definitely some victimization that's happening.
Well, that's part of the challenge, the human challenge that you have to overcome, accepting that you're a victim. It sucks for grown-ass men that, feel like they can handle their own shit. It's part of handling your own shit, dude. knowing which side of the fence you need to be on in the legal system.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point, man. It is. I mean, but
Boot, if you want to, if you could get me that video, send it to me on Discord. I'll play that video right now, because you know what would be great for this video? More evidence against Chris.
I think the thing that's most staggering to me is basically how easily certain people can get away with abusing the system.
Certain people,
yeah, and listen, it's designed to be abused apparently, because I guess that they make money off of people having to go to court. I mean, it's a win-win for the court.
There's many things you could insert there for purposes, like a lot of different ways you could insert reasoning, but the foundation of what you just said is certain people seem to have more leeway to abuse the system. That, I mean,
you have more leeway to abuse the system. You should be in jail right now. You were told not to do XYZ, and then you did XYZ, and now you're still trying to kick the fucking bond violations down the fucking street.
that's the focal point to me when you're talking to me about that subject. There are certain people that give like this fucking, they're giving this extra crazy amount of allowance to abuse the system. It's fucking nuts. Like that's supposed to be tackled with non-biasy. Like there are so many rules, so many laws. There's so much that's in writing in law that's supposed to help prevent that from happening that are not exercised. They are not.
That's right, guys. If you correct Chris Ryder on the internet, Chris Ryder wants you in jail. He wants your money. He wants your life savings. He wants to take food out of your kids' mouths simply because you corrected him on the internet. That's how fucking disgusting this guy is. On top of the fact that he supports a dude who molested a 12-year-old girl.
Followed. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I think the problem is that I think the one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing when it comes to these states. And
exactly.
I almost kind of think that there should be, anytime someone brings in like a lawsuit or something, I think there should be checks, like to see, well, how many lawsuits have they brought, and what states have they brought these lawsuits? Are these people vexatious? Are they vexatious litigants? Right?
There is that procedure.
Well, no, I mean you have to ask the court to deem them as vexatious with their litigation.
There is. That exists already.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, okay, so let me restate.
He's trying to just label everyone a vexatious litigant if they've ever lost a lawsuit, which would never work. Kim Blandino has been labeled a vexatious litigant. Do you know how long that took him to be labeled a vexatious litigant? But this is the thing that you guys don't know, because they don't watch this every day. They're not in it every day. Chris has his charges. He's got a past of criminal actions, civil actions, but they're not like in it. He has his cases, and in my head, he's just playing sit and spin on his thumb in his fucking rented house. I wouldn't count that as in it. This is like the guy who's in prison who's like, oh, I know the justice system. I've been charged 57 times. That doesn't mean you know the justice system.
I think there should be a mechanism in place where it doesn't become incumbent upon me, after I've already been served and sued, that when they try to bring a suit, they should do some checks to put these people on a national database to find out. Really, there is. Okay.
Yeah, it exists. So in a
one of Chris's friends is on the database, the sex offender registry, and rumor has it Civic Duty, his other friend, is well on his way.
Well, hold up. All right, let me refine my statement so that way you're not having to explain something to me that maybe I didn't ask or didn't present. If they've already been deemed as vexatious, there's something in the database. What I'm saying is, can they determine if somebody's vexatious based on the amount of suits that they bring, independently of being adjudicated as vexatious? Does that?
Well, no, because that's something that has to be sifted through.
Okay.
From a. It has to be argued and proven, because you don't want to take away people's rights, and one of our rights is access to the legal system. We pay for it. Now you have to have gone through an adjudication of that for that thing to be determined one way or another. So what happens is if so many cases exist and somebody finally says, you know, hey, judge, you need to look at these people and see if they fit and need to be in that database, then it already exists. The judge can say, you know, hey, let's have that argument, present facts, let's talk about it, let's do an argument over that. And then if they're found to be abusive, you know, then that judge gets to put an order out, which puts them in a database. It's like a red flag. And then the process that I believe is behind that is that particular judge that made that decision in the future gets to look at every filing that these people put in the future and determine whether or not it's legit suit or not. Because you can't determine based on a number alone. Like if a person has to sue 10 times or 10 people, right? 10 different cases.
Still on.
That doesn't mean they're abusing it. It just means, it could just mean that 10 people have done shit to them. You can't determine what God hands down to a person. And you don't know. Maybe these people are more open to the situation based on, you know, things that are not illegal, right? Like a truck driver. A truck driver is constantly on the interstate driving, right? They may be more I'm trying to think of a certain word here that my brain farting on, but they might get more tickets or be seen by more
prone,
police officers.
more prone to be targeted. Okay, because of the frequency.
Or ticketed.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So like, just because they got a lot of pullovers doesn't mean that they're necessarily worse or better or abusive. It just means that they've been pulled over a lot due to the circumstances.
Right. Let's see. Hold on, guys. We got let's see. So some shit says then why prolong it with a continuance? Well, that's between me and my attorney. That my entire crack legal team, to include my international lawyer Mimsy.
I would like to say this on that. It seems that people with the wrong narrative are already assuming that it benefits the defendant in every situation to prolong. That is not the case. A lot of times it absolutely hurts the defendant. Even though, but you might have to, because everything needs to be done properly. So if you got a court where things are being pushed in properly, literally against rules or whatever, right? You have to ask for a continuance so that you can sort that out. And the truth is, you can blame the defendant all day long in those situations. But the fact is, they're being forced to put a hold on it so that they can address the violation of the fucking rules in the first place. So who's committing the problem? It's the person breaking the rules.
Right.
The defendant doesn't have any control over a person breaking rules. They didn't cause that. They did put in the continuance because that would be the proper legal maneuver so that you can address the situation and not let it get out of hand.
Right. So it's an interesting thing where it's like, I think I just now found out where to access the public files, and I'm not sure because this is considered a DR, which is weird because I'm not in a domestic relationship with this person.
I'm just gonna leave it with that pause. You do with that what you will.
Considered a DR court.
Oh, okay. I see.
Case.
Yeah. Okay. That probably makes
falls
it
in the jurisdiction organization. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a little troubling to me that I'm basically being accused of doing something in a place that I've never gone, really have no intention to go for any other purposes other than maybe to enjoy a beach or something. Probably nowhere near this person is claiming to be a victim. It's one of these situations where, I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm getting pulled into a jurisdiction where, like, Indiana has it's like mycase.in.gov or something like that. It's pretty easy to navigate. Kentucky has almost the same exact thing.
No, they don't either. They're just way more vague. You can't click on any of the documents on Kentucky's unless you're a lawyer or got a bar card license number.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the public aspects of things, not the real in-depth stuff.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You can't click on a document. Indiana's is awesome. You can click on every document that's been applied and the date that it was put in.
Okay.
On Kentucky, it just tells you, hey, you got court over these things. That's it.
All right. I did get a message. Oh, wow. It's right here. Okay. Right here. This guy right here is going to make this guy spurg out and do the exact slandering and defamation that I just accused him of doing.
Keep your eye on that guy. He's a problem.
I've only ever filed 2 suits and I won one of them. And then as far as protective order stuff, I mean, I felt like I needed them and I went for them. What's wrong with that?
GJM26 says the problem is that
he felt he needed a TPO against someone and then decided to jump on panel with him regularly and hang out in his chats. Me thinks someone probably didn't need that protection order.
People are using the legal process as a way of causing financial problems to any defendant, and I tend to agree with that. Go, GJM. What would you like to add to this conversation, if anything?
Well, thanks for having me on, man. I just want to chime in first. Chris, my thoughts and prayers for you and your community going through that flooding. That's really challenging stuff, man. I'm just wishing nothing but the best for you and your community, man, to get back up on your feet with that whole flooding situation.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I've witnessed.
He showed pictures, and it literally flooded up to the top of his shoe in his basement. Chris will be fine. Tiffany will be fine. They lost whatever crap they keep this deep in their basement.
And a lot of other discussions, like almost like degenerate celebratory things with people celebrating that not only that there was a certain legal order put in place, but then mocking that a defendant would seek out a continuance. And I look at that as such a foolish way of thinking. Number one, if ever you were a defendant of anything, it is your legal right to ensure that your legal process is represented properly and thoroughly. And that means if you need any stone unturned to ensure that you receive the proper defense, and you have access to the right materials and have a proper understanding, then it is your God-given right as a free citizen to have access to that. And that's why those continuance measures are put in place. And guess what? If there wasn't a valid reason, the judge wouldn't have granted it. So I think it's absolutely disgusting.
I love how people, I'm gonna elaborate with you, man. You're so spot on. I love how people think the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and the Fourth Amendment and the Fifth Amendment, but then you get to the Sixth and they go, well, that one doesn't matter. I mean, process matters. A fair trial
Absolutely.
matters. A right to an attorney matters.
Yeah. It just shocks me, man. Like, these people must think it's kangaroo court or something like that. Like, what do you mean someone can't have a continuance? Like, these are people can draft up motions. People can, try to.
It's not that we have a problem with continuances. It's in the case with Chris. We went through and a murder case the murder happened. It went to court. It got adjudicated, and even sentencing took place in a year and a few months. And yet Chris is somehow milking this. I think it's going to be 3 years in October. That's what we have a problem with, because justice delayed is justice denied. Yes, he is owed a fair trial, but at the end of the day, his victims are also owed a fair and speedy trial.
A different piece of evidence put into submission. There's tons of things that require thorough briefing and follow through and analysis by legal counsel, and that's why they're paid the wages they're paid. So they need to be thorough. So the fact that people mock is if like, oh, you're some sort of coward that you get a continuance. The only one that would be a coward is someone that would be completely self-absorbed, not to think that a continuance would ever be required. That is such a shockingly stupid statement that when I heard them just laughing as if it was a cowardly maneuver. I mean, what would you do if you're a defendant? You're just going to just lay back and just say, oh, okay, just let everybody just roll on over me, and I'm not going to defend my name, defend my rights or anything. What a stupid asinine thing that is. I'm sorry, that just gets me fired up, man.
It fits their...
Yeah. So this guy is super animated now while talking about a random court case. But when people were bringing up to him that a woman unalived herself and that these people are attacking I don't want to say the victim because somebody did unalive themselves, but that person's significant other who had to deal with that, who had to find the body, give them CPR, call 911. But the fact that he was just talking like this, super monotone, not getting worked up, but now he's getting worked up over a continuance. It's kind of dumb, if you ask me.
It fits their ignorance to the situation, because what do groups of bullies do when a person defends themselves? Like let's say there's 5 people that all aim to target one person, and all 5 of those people are saying, you're a dork, you're gay, you're a piece of shit, your mom sucks, and you've got cockroaches. All 5 of these
bitch, that's you. You're that bully.
kids are saying it, for example, right, to this one person, and then one person says, you know what, fuck you, your mom sucks, and then they all go, oh, you shouldn't have said that, you shouldn't have said that. Well, that's the same mentality that we're dealing with when it comes to the court process. They're saying, oh, you shouldn't have defended yourself, you shouldn't have filed that motion for contempt.
Exactly.
You shouldn't protect your Sixth Amendment right. That's all they're doing.
I mean, these folks claim to be these crusaders for justice, and they want, how dare anybody ever speak out or ask.
No, Chris, let me tell you what it's like in your case. In your case, it's like you're the bully and you punch somebody in the face. And then a few months later, you punch them in the face again. And then you're going to the principal's office to have this conversation. Everybody's parents, you and the victim, you and their family are going to the principal's office to discuss why this happened and your repercussions. And then your dad decides he doesn't want to be in the situation anymore and he leaves, and you can't find your mom. And then 3 years later, there you are without any repercussions, yada, yada, yada. That's what your situation would be like. Your parents would be your attorneys, and the victim's still waiting there like, this happened to me. When is justice for me going to happen? But again, yeah, Daryl Brooks, 76 charges, and he went to trial in 11 months. And not Chris, guys.
Questions or whatnot, and yet they just want someone to just remove any legal rights. Like they want them to just, it's literally people showing up at the gates with the torches burning. Like just, they want a witch hunt. They don't want a judicial process. They don't want anybody to have their own legal rights. If they were these true champions for justice that they say they were, they would be happy that the defendant is exercising any legal maneuver possible in order to assure that.
No, because you're defending the defendant. We are defending the victim. In my opinion, the victim's probably more important than the defendant, but you seem to not care about the victim of the case at all. Or the victims of the case. And that's the problem. That's what everybody has a problem with. You're only worried about the defendant and not the victim. The victim also has rights. Shocker.
They had a fair trial and that the legal proceedings weren't, were seen and followed through with the proper direction.
You're so right. And then here's the other thing. If they actually were crusaders for rights and wanting to see justice, then they would not break the law of obstruction and interference, which is the way they are going about it. These people, we've already said in this discussion right before you came up, G, Todd and I were talking about how these people inject themselves and participate in the statutory areas of the law conspiracy, right? So they are literally interfering. They are literally putting themselves in an obstructive role, and that is criminal.
So he's going to say we're obstructing by showing the evidence that he put out. We're obstructing by doing that. By covering news, by covering a public interest story, we are obstructing. I've never met Chris. I don't remember the last time I had contact with Chris. I try to avoid this motherfucker at all costs because of this shit. He thinks anytime you disagree with him, you deserve to go to jail for the rest of your life. If you disagree with him, you heard him earlier when he was talking about Direct D. You have the life choked out of you until you are no longer breathing. I know he said something similar, that he wanted to beat the shit out of Lick the Whole Boot. That's why I try to avoid him. I'm over here covering public interest stories, and Chris does not like that.
Like, point your fucking fingers all you want, people. You are committing a crime when you interfere. So
absolutely.
And conspiracy
according to frauditors, isn't interfering a physical act? How am I interfering if I've never seen you, Chris? I've never been to the courthouse, Chris. But I'm interfering. Weird how that comes back to bite him in the ass.
It's the law that we're talking about. If you conspire to have an interference or cause a delay or an issue or any more litigation by...
You're only causing the delay, no one else.
By injecting yourself, you are committing the crime of obstruction of a legal process. So, you know, you ain't fucking crusading for justice in proper fucking courts when you're literally breaking the law. Chris Ruff, talking to you, buddy.
I want to add a couple other things because you guys are making valid points. So I went on a panel the other day. It was on Boot's channel. And you know what? They want to say, you know, people won't go on. They don't have the cojones. They don't have the guts. Well, I shop in the men's department. And I said, you know what? If you have me on, I'll go on and I'll speak my mind. And you know, I'll commend Boot and Killa. We may not be able to agree on things, but at least we're able to have civil dialogue. But
is he gonna say something? Is Ryder going to say something about that statement?
Have these other unhinged individuals where if you don't agree to every single thing that they're saying, the insults, the just outlandish, crazy behavior and screaming and shrieking, when, you know, just because I have a different perspective of it doesn't mean I'm a bad person or anything like that. And then also trying to diminish, like, if ever I may have had a bad take on something, for example. Oh, well, did you ever hear when GS or Chris said this? Like, okay, well, I didn't realize I had to agree with everything that anyone's ever said ever. Like, I'm allowed to have my own independent opinions, but still enjoy the content that someone provides, or you know, the various discussions that go on these panels. I mean, it was insane. I was even challenged by this one woman. I shouldn't be appearing on panels. I mean, as if she was some sort of the gatekeeper of YouTube. It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. When she's like, you're on all these panels, I was like, lady, I've maybe been on like under 5 in my entire time ever on YouTube.
It's
but
desperate group mentality, bully behavior. Desperate and weak and funny that we can call it out so easily.
And that's such a good point, man, because, you know, we can support different things, but we can align on same things as well, right?
Like me, Stone Vet, and Hill Pirate Studios. I don't think we might get a beer together if that ever becomes a possibility, but we're not best friends. We've come together to be like, oh, Chris Ryder's a doofus. Let's laugh at him. I've been on panel with Stone Vet, or I've been on panel with him on somebody else's channel one time. I don't think that counts as conspiracy. Jeff, how many times? I think I've maybe been to his channel and commented in maybe 5 streams. And I think, again, I've maybe been on somebody else's panel where he jumped up for a minute or I jumped up for a minute, like one time. But apparently we're all just in cahoots.
Politics, for example, you might like the one guy running for mayor versus I might like a different candidate running for mayor. Doesn't mean we don't agree with a lot of other things and can have civilized conversations and learn from each other. And maybe I'm going to learn something from you on why that candidate's important to you, and vice versa, right? But just this insane cult, like, and it is a cult, and quite frankly,
we're only here for one specific reason, and it's to catch Chris slandering me, and then we can be done.
After speaking with someone, I think it's a dangerous one, just because the unhinged demands just like, you better say this person's name. Like, I didn't realize I was required, but sure. Like, again, I'm not shy. I'm not afraid to speak when you know, if I'm in a conversation and whatnot. But again, like, just the cult-like unhinged behaviors. Quite frankly, guys, I'm happy to live where I live, because if I live where you guys live and being in the proximity of some of those unhinged people, I quite frankly would look at taking a protection order, because the veracity. I looked at what G Swag put out, and GS, you brought it up yesterday. What a disgusting comment to make about Chris. I mean, you could not like someone's opinions, you could not like this, but to celebrate someone and their community going through a natural disaster, that's a sick, unhinged kind of person. That's a really sick human being. Disgusting.
I expected it.
My neighborhood got hit by a fucking tornado. Like, my specific street got hit by a tornado, to the point where I looked at the video the other day because I was scrolling through some other social media platforms. Every tree in our fucking neighborhood came down. My front tree in my yard came down. The trees across the street came down. My neighbor's car got hit by a fucking tree. Somebody fucking died. A kid died. A tree went through his house, killed him. People had whole trees through their fucking living rooms. These motherfuckers didn't give a shit. But now that Chris gets 3 thimbles worth of fucking water in his basement, the whole world needs to end.
From him, so like, I didn't even know about it.
But that's the sad thing, is you have to expect it. And I would expect too that, like, you know, GS brings this up with the whole Second Amendment thing. I mean, when you have these type of lurkers and unhinged people that are quite frankly crusaders that like that, a lot of them like to outdo each other about.
GS has literally threatened to make somebody look like Swiss cheese with his firearm. He said, if you call me Cupcake, I will take that as fighting words and we will fight. I think he told Chris specifically that he was going to hold him down and do some type of shit to him. But yes, we are the unhinged ones. You got us, you fucking weirdo.
How can they get at someone from something as small as like, oh, I messed with their chat, or I logged in, or I caused problems, or I'm trying to mess up their, their YouTube platform, like, openly trying to get someone demonetized, or you're trying to affect their financial standing, or quite frankly, putting out legal issues where you're intentionally.
Wait, you mean like Tyrants Beware openly saying he got Killa's channel deleted for making false claims to YouTube? That's weird. It's funny how the shit that they do, it doesn't apply. But when anybody says, oh, we don't want Todd's channel to go away, we just want it demonetized, apparently that makes us a terrible human being. But getting somebody's platform completely silenced, that's okay. Making false claims to YouTube, that's okay for them.
You're trying to cause them financial problems.
Yeah, GoFundMe if you have one. I've had one GoFundMe in my entire life, dude. One. I'm almost 50.
Right.
And it was a fucking campaign. People were putting out videos showing each other, this is what you want to say. Even though it wasn't true, this is what you need to report to GoFundMe and say in order to have Chris and Tiffany's GoFundMe taken away. Dude, we only asked for one time in our whole lives for help. And that's the kind of shit they do. I want to make another point. You talk about how, people say these things in the chat, that are like, team A has to force team or person target to, comply, right? Like that's kind of what we were saying in the conversation. Well, how about this? Yeah, they say a lot in the comments and shit. They do a lot of stupid little videos and stuff, and we can all laugh at that and say, First Amendment, baby. Well, how about this one? How about those exact same people? I'm going to start with the least concerning, which should be very concerning. G-Swag, Jay, has literally said on multiple occasions that he is going to find me in person and do things to me that will result in my death. Okay?
I've never seen GE Swag say anything more than, yeah, you can come down here, we can fight, it's fine. I've actually seen somebody who was targeting, he's a Chris subscriber, or maybe even a Chris Sock account. He was actually targeting me and GE Swag's underage kids, making comments about our underage kids. And then Swag said something along the lines of, well, here's the state that I live in. We're having this festival. If you would like to come down and fight, we can fight. It's fine. That's the only thing I've said, or I've seen him saying, hey, we can do mutual combat after you said very despicable things about underage children. We can do that. That's fine. I have never heard GE Swag do anything to unalive Chris. That's nonsense.
I mean, that's said. No,
disgusting. Utterly disgusting.
I don't know that guy. I don't fucking know him. And then he wants to talk about how, well, obviously he does know him. He said, well, what do you think I'm going to do after you start making threats on my life? I'm going to figure out who it is doing that. So yeah, I figured out who he was. But it didn't come until after he was threatening to literally end my life, And let me go one step further. So you think these people aren't dangerous because it's on YouTube? You think this group that we're talking about isn't illegal? Well, how about this? There have been 3 people that have been delivered to my house where my child lives and been.
You don't have a motherfucking child. Hey, speak of the devil. Look, there's G Swag.
Real quick, what actually happened was that sock account, which is Chris, said he was going to come to my alleged town at a festival and give my one of my daughters a gift and film it. And he was going to bring his gang. So I never mentioned any state I lived in. I didn't mention any festival.
Oh,
he said all that stuff and said he was going to come down here. And I never said I was going to hurt him. I said he wanted to meet me at a daggone boxing ring.
Yeah, I do remember that. He did say he was going to meet your daughter with his gang and give her something. So I'm like, yeah, I do recall that. It was a community.
And I told him, I said, cool, tell me when. And he never would.
But again, it's just crazy that these people will make these comments. Somebody really close to Chris, which he's going to go to bat for here in a second. That person threatened my children during, what was it? Trick-or-treating?
Yeah.
He threatened to go to my children's school to audit them. We all know what the fuck that means. But these are the people that Chris is cool with. Those are the things that Chris is okay with. But having
same sock account, KFARR, the same sock account started listing out elementary schools where they thought my youngest went to and said they was going to go over and have an interview with her.
These are the things that they do and they support. But heaven forbid you say, okay, yeah, well, if you're going to do that, we can fight. That's fine. I told him I said I'll fight him anytime, but I ain't signing no stupid contract. I said I don't need a contract to, get in a fight with you. I would need a contract. I would like to save myself from litigation if I actually hurt one of these elderly.
Well, the reason they want me to sign a contract, they want to use that to dox. They don't give a shit about the contract. They wouldn't show. Right? I signed the contract. They signed the contract. Chris's name's already out there. So look, I told you it was him, or I told you it was that person. That's what you're trying to do.
That's where I'm at. They already doxed me 3 years ago and continue doing it to this day.
Yeah.
So my name up fucking anything.
But I've never threatened Chris's life ever.
Yeah, like I said, I played that clip of him wanting to, what was it? Choke Ruff out until he stops breathing. I know. I've
Remember that sock account yesterday said the same thing to me.
Oh yeah. I forgot what that guy's name was, but he said almost word for word that you deserve to be choked to death.
Yeah, said exactly what Chris says, but he's not a Chris sock account. He's only a 3.5 weeks old sock account, but he's not Chris, and he says the exact same shit.
It's just Chris. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Personally, I think Chris has been silent on his page because he's working his other sock accounts.
Yeah, and he's using Todd's channel to say all the shit he can't say on his channel. And Todd's too stupid to fucking see it. Excuse my language.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, this is just... I know this isn't the normal stream we do, guys, but I got word that the racist and the retard were saying some shit, and... I haven't heard this part. That's the reason I'm pissed off.
I was outside. I'm inside now. I had you on background. But yeah, this GJ freaking idiot, man. He's the sick one, man. To sit there and just be all monotone, and people sitting there saying, well, Chris is saying this about this. Todd is saying this about this. Well, the exercise they taught me was you deal in the situations. People might be elevated, but he gets on here. Chris is kicking the can down the road for 3 years. Oh, he's yelling. Oh, this is outrageous.
Because GJM has no care in the world for the victim.
No, he's
pisses me off.
Oh man, that's really
like,
really pisses me off. Especially what Chris said.
Does the victim not have rights to have this eventually remedied? Like, do they not deserve justice?
It's different if Rabbit was on trial for unaliving his freaking wife, but he's not. He's been totally exonerated and cleared. He wasn't even a suspect.
Yeah, heaven forbid what the medical examiner has to say. Fuck the person qualified to make these decisions.
Yeah, fuck that shit. He's got some naked pictures. Oh my God, it makes him a murderer. They're scumbag pieces of fucking shit.
Here, physically, in person, to make good on their threats. Rabbit being one of them, the most recent. Like, what's up? You say they're not dangerous? You think this cult is not an actual physical threat? Then explain that. Explain that they're not physically dangerous when there's been 3.
Because nobody's physically done nothing to you, you dumb fuck.
We're a cult? We're a cult? Cult leader Todd and Chris just said that we're a cult. They expect you to take everything that they say as fucking gospel, and you better not ask a fucking question. Or guess what?
Exactly.
You'll get
Chris is the only one that's ever been physical. He's the one that ran up on MPK. MPK was sitting back. He's the one that physically ran up on him. He's the one that's physically gotten Todd's face before. I mean, come on, man.
But that's the thing. Those videos are old. So those don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
That are proven. 2 are in jail for it. 2 went to jail for it. That have shown up at my house. Ruff got lucky and played some fuck around games to like really protect himself.
You got lucky. What's that mean? That threat.
That, like physically becoming a threat, right? Physically, not just threatening on YouTube, not just threatening through social media, but physical threat, right? And then, so we got. I mean, Kaiser. A lot of people don't understand this because of the way it played out. Kaiser had a bond which prevented him from leaving his state, where he was charged with the multiple. I think he had 6 felonies over his head. He was on bond. One of his bond conditions he was not to leave the state. He traveled from Oklahoma to my home, after making.
It's not your home. You don't own it.
I can't count them. And y'all have only seen what you see online. You ain't seen the private correspondence, right?
And that's just it, man. It's like a lot of these guys, you can tell, like, the screws aren't all tightened up on some of these people. And
well, I mean, there was a reason that he was suspected of a red rum. You know what I'm saying? He's the only suspect in that case still.
He wasn't suspected. God almighty.
For a reason. But we're talking about a guy who's dangerous with his Second Amendment situation.
I just want to point this out because we're gonna play it again. We're gonna fucking play it again. But yeah, Chris's screws are all there. He's not unhinged at all.
No care in the world.
Why are you thinking about her when she gets older?
Because I'm worried.
You're sick.
Life. I think that an abusive person.
Sick. You are a sick little man. You are a sick individual. You need to seek help. You're sick, dude.
Answer the question. How'd you make it through prison?
Chris, I'll stop picking on you if you go get help.
I don't fucking need help, man. I'm not the one over here fucking abusing children.
I really think that you need help. I seriously believe that.
I really think
I seriously think that you actually need some real help, maybe some medication.
What you need is to be choked all the way out until you stop fucking breathing.
Yeah, but Chris is obviously the mentally stable one. Obviously, he's the mentally stable one. He doesn't need help at all. And again, this isn't the only time Chris has said something like that. We have I guess technically ear witness testimony from 2 different people of Chris being on a phone call and making threats to the wife of Boot Body Cam, Lick the Whole Boot, whatever channel he wants me to pitch now. But Chris is the one that does need help. I think everyone on that panel needs to do a nice 72-hour stint in a mental hospital.
I'm trying so hard to pick TOS. But anyway, dude traveled to my house on a day where they knew that what we were doing was going to a place where they knew where we would be with a minor, okay, over a case involving a minor. And they injected themselves into our real physical presence, okay, to make good on their threats. And the position that you're looking at.
Isn't this the same guy that harassed someone by sending like a bunch of random DoorDash shit to their house and requesting the DoorDasher to see certain people while they were on the phone with them? Some would consider that a crime.
Here is this dude putting himself in was, if the cops had caught him here in Harrison County, Indiana, where he was taking pictures of himself, he would have been put in handcuffs and brought to our jail and then extradited back to finish before he violated bond. But what happened was we were too wrapped up to catch him physically on our property, right, at our house, to report him in time. So he'd already made his way out of state before the Harrison County police went looking for him. Okay, he'd already made it out of state. And they failed because they do have discretion to determine whether or not they want to press charges. They failed to press charges on him for that year. But what they did do was they contacted where his bond was. And they said, hey, we're investigating this case. What do you know about this guy? And that sparked, that along with a couple people that witnessed it and called his bondsman, that all together sparked the Alabama court system, the people that were involved in this case, to bring him in for contempt, to bring him in to do his rule of show cause. He needed to answer to the judge, what the fuck were you doing in Indiana? And what you're talking about there is, what the fuck were you doing going to Chris and Tiffany's house? That's what the...
If I remember correctly, he wasn't supposed to leave Alabama, so him being in Oklahoma was the problem. I don't believe that had anything to do with Chris. But if you ask Chris, him and Tyrants Beware, they are the fucking crack legal team on the job for this case.
Had to go answer, and he failed to appear.
Exactly.
And he went to jail, and it found him guilty. So that dude went to jail because of coming to Indiana. He would have been out until he had his argument over his felonies. But no, he chose to travel here and get himself put in jail early. Well done. I wish they'd charge him more charges, and maybe they will. He's still under investigation.
And that's important to note too, man, is the fact that a guy with, probation, active charges and everything like that, he was still so self-obsessed where his arrogance took over to the point where he didn't care what legal restrictions were in place. He was still going to go out and he sought out to terrorize you.
Bro, he had it in his head because these people are being influenced by an individual. Actually, there's actually a person out there that's influencing these people to get so obsessed, so overly involved.
Say their name, Chris. Oh, that's right. You're not supposed to say his name on the internet because he's your victim. Imagine that.
Personally, that they've said it to so many people. They've claimed to be the leader of this campaign against us to the point in which they have to prove to the people that they've been running their mouths to. They have to prove it at this point. So you get a guy like Kaiser and you go, well, why would he go that far? Well, not only is he self-obsessed, right? Not only is he an obsessive person, but also he has been telling hundreds of people on a daily basis, he'll be the badass motherfucker to go do it in person. Watch me, wind me up, watch me go, he said. And what did he do? He tried it. He fucked around and he got the found out.
Well, somebody said, wait a minute. Shiz said she got Kaiser arrested.
I love that. That cracks me up. Shiz didn't have nothing to do with it.
But it's funny because I don't like either one of them. You can ask Shiz. I don't think we get along still. Shiz did everything. Chris and Tyrus Brewer had nothing to do with the situation. Yeah, peg leg finance. Yeah, exactly. This guy thinks he's Billy Badass, and he's not. It's crazy.
I mean, the thing that cracks me up too, speaking of being cracked up, is we've got the threats from. I got literal phone threats, text messages, and I even told him cease and desist all communication with me via that platform that hadn't been rescinded. But he continued to persist, meaning Direct Dookie. I've got the threat. I literally have a thumbnail with him making the threat. This is 1,000% a threat, old man. I will straight up blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on about what he's going to do.
Which is funny because Direct D put out like all of it. It was like Todd making threats and then him saying, oh, we can do this. And then Todd, shockingly, only showed that part. Because Todd wants more than anything in the world is to be a victim. And he's not.
Now, to me, that's actionable. And I just got word that apparently we're getting streamed by another skin suit where these people wouldn't have content if it wasn't for us. Hell, I guess KFAT.
I like that they do it. I like that they do it because I wouldn't be on the internet saying these things if I didn't want it publicly known. So all they're doing is helping me publicize the words that are coming out of my mouth.
So you've publicly said that you're going to start knowingly false litigation on people. Yeah, that's going to work out great.
Broken Bones member for 8 months and Def Cooking Tutorials at the highest level says hello, y'all. What's up, Broken Bones? Hope you're doing well. And somebody said the reason why there's not a lot of people talking in the chat is because a lot of people are lurking or listening while they're working. And I get that, and I appreciate that. Ronnie Rebel says, hey, y'all, just lurking for the moment.
Is that why 50-something people answered your fucking quiz poll or whatever that said, nah, we ain't liking this shit? It was like, what was it, 60-40, 65-35, something like that? Crazy.
Today, hope everyone's having an amazing afternoon. This shit is just all so damn wild. Couldn't even write a movie script like this. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because I think there's a book in here somewhere that might be a made for television or TV eventual. The fact that
yes, the name of the book would be The Racist and the Retard. That's what it would be.
I've somehow gotten put into a situation where, listen, I get it. I do get it. All I got to do is unplug the internet, walk away, and a lot of people would say, all your problems would just be gone.
No, I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree 100%.
They're not gone. I tried it. I've done it. I'm doing it now. I've done it for the past several weeks now, and I've proven.
You going onto other people's channels and running your fucking cock holster is not you being off the internet, Chris. You've said this multiple times. You will run to any panel that will have you, any port in a storm, to run your mouth, and then be like, well, I'm off my channel. I'm off my channel. I'm off the internet. No, that's not it.
That doesn't work. By unplugging for periods of time and coming back to find that not only was the harassment even more horrific while I was unplugged, like in real life, it took it more to real life is what it did. It encouraged the people targeting us because we weren't available online, right? They did it more physical, more in person. It started coming to our phones. It started coming to, you know what I'm saying? Like way closer.
Well, it's like a parasocial attachment. Like what are their identities if they're not trying to take a giant shit on people that they consider enemies? Now, I recently I texted you guys and said, I mean, it's disgusting to see what G-Swag.
They have a group where they're texting, that's a conspiracy. Rico, is this Rico? Is this Rico?
And a few other people are putting up, mocking an actual natural disaster. And I said, hey, looking at this, I regret if I had any part in this wickedness, that I apologize for it.
I appreciate that apology. It's accepted. You didn't do it about the flood stuff, but in other ways, yeah. And I'm glad that you see it, and I appreciate your apology very much.
Yeah, and if anyone takes part in
now, Chris, apologize for filing knowingly BS TPO against Todd. Say sorry for calling the police on Todd. Bet you won't.
This wickedness, and I have. I think I have some skin in that game, and I think I've been, and some would argue that some wicked things have happened to me too. And a lot of it could be retaliation, but look, listen, man, you corner an animal and you keep pushing it. Not that any of us are technically animals, but what do you expect it to do?
Right.
I mean, it's just at the end of the day.
I'm dying to get some out here, guys.
You're dying to what?
I'm dying to get one more thing out since you said that a certain streamer was restreaming this. So if KFARR is listening, I find it so just a long story short, I was chastised as well, GS, for donating to your channel the other night by these individuals. And, they said, like, oh, you're enabling someone drinking. The very person, one of the people that were taking out this crusade is someone that runs a channel that has a program that.
I also have never come at a crusade against Todd drinking. I make fun of the fact that Todd gets turned up on what seems like a daily basis. That's about it. Same reason why I don't come at Stone Vet for being the Stone Vet. No, Pegleg, so I know that you're not necessarily in the know when it comes to all of this. That's what they're crying. They're crying that it's Rico. That people covering them on the internet is Rico. I think Todd regularly says Rico Suave, hinting at that it's Rico that we're covering him. So it's not Rico. It's never Rico. But Todd always thinks, is this Rico? Is this Rico? It's the butterfly meme. Is this Rico? That's what that is. And I bet GJM is going to come at Booze and Body Cam. I'm going to take a shot.
It's called Booze and Body Cams. Where him and his co-hosts literally take super chats and drink alcohol on the stream. So what in the hell are we doing here? Rules for thee and not for me. So GS is a grown man, and if GS wants to have a drink in his house or wherever hell.
Well. Seeing as how I'm one of the few people who have met GS in person, GS, maybe in 20 years he'll be a grown man, but he's 5'3". Calm down. It seems like the people who hate me the most are very small statured men or extremely overweight men. Two of which are on this panel right now. Todd is extremely short and Chris is extremely overweight.
He goddamn well pleases, that's fine. And by me giving money to fund a show that I watch for entertainment purposes, I mean, that's the very definition of what, PBS was once, is a publicly funded station. That's how the algorithm's changing now. That's how viewers are funding independent.
KFARR News Network, brought to you by viewers like you. Yeah, I miss your streams, Pegleg. I miss your streams. Back when I was at my other house, damn near any time you would stream a certain court case, I was there. To the point where I stole your some Puerto Rican guy defense. I've used that, and people have no idea what I'm talking about.
Independent YouTube channels. And the very people... Sorry, go ahead, man.
No, I like your point. You know what, KFAT, since you're listening, you weirdo, you're probably one of the most completely uninvolved. Like, in my mind, you have no effect on my cases.
Chris Ryder is morbidly obese to the point where he waddled his fat ass into the courthouse and you could hear that he got winded. There are pictures of him wearing his best, what am I looking for? His best Goodwill button up to court that's 3 sizes too small. We've watched this morbidly obese man do XYZ, yet he's going to call someone else K-Fat. The projection. Oh, yeah, exactly. Chris, 100 pounds might not even be it. If we're going to be honest, I think he's got 2 inches on me and easily 100 to 150 pounds. Easily. But yet he's throwing around everybody's fat, and it's just like, come on, Chris. I know Georgia Transparency does this all the time. Oh, you weigh 200 pounds. Yeah, I do. I'm also like 5'10". And he's like, oh, I'm 6'3", 6'4". And I'm like, yeah, 6'4", 500 pounds isn't a good look, bro. I can hear your flip-flops screaming for death from here.
You're the most, like, you do take the cake for something. And I do mean that as a pun, you fat fuck. You do take a cake. You take lots of cakes. But in this one, you take the cake, in my mind. Finally, you're getting some type of response from me with this. You take the cake for being the most hypocritical person that I've ever known to be online. And it's only online, dude. Like, don't flatter yourself. And what's funny is that you're getting called out about the alcohol thing. But really what G still has yet to figure out about you is that you are hypocritical in every single facet of everything you speak and do.
Oh, yeah.
By all means. By all means, you sex offender supporter. The guy who brought a sex offender who molested his 12-year-old sister. You brought that guy to support you. You've been carrying water for him for years. But sure, Chris, let's hear how I'm a hypocrite.
Let me add one more thing. That's a really good point. So this guy talks about, and we're not condoning it, that people stalk him online or say menacing things to him and his family, which none of us are condoning at all. But far from it.
No, Chris actually condoned it. Chris supported a violent, convicted criminal stalking me across state lines and coming to my house twice at 2 different addresses. Chris supported that. So let's not say, oh, we don't condone that. No. Chris supports that shit.
You're going to take part in people in crusading against, Chris and Todd here? Like, how, again, make that make sense.
His first interaction with me, very first interaction with me, which I've never taken seriously. He's just an internet.
All right. I know that our first interaction wasn't me covering him. It was me sticking up for Aztec Ninja frauditor guy because Chris was threatening him. Because Chris was getting bad reviews on his business, his international contractor business. He was getting bad reviews on that before he even started on YouTube. But he was threatening this guy on YouTube. And I'm just like, is this what we're going to do? Do I need to get involved in this? Let's see what he says it is.
Right. His very first interaction with me was he was involved in making false complaints to the Department of Child Services on Tiffany.
I have never called CPS on anyone but myself. And that was when Chris had his best friend, Tyrants Beware. Tyrants Beware I've shown the video. The guy was bragging about making a knowingly false CPS call on me. He was bragging about it, and Chris was on chat, giving him a high five. Only for when I said, yeah, that's probably going to come with some legal consequences for you, Terry from Mississippi. And then he goes, oh,
I'm sorry. I was joking. I was trying to get your attention.
That's the only time I've had anything to do with CPS. So the fact that Chris is, well, this is just something else to throw in the old evidence file against Chris.
And I had an interaction with him for that, right? Like, wouldn't you respond as a parent?
Oh, yeah.
Someone that's making, calls?
You're not a fucking parent. Let's change this shit. Chris, you're not a parent. You have 0 children.
About your children to try to have them removed from you?
100%.
So I responded to him, and he goes to YouTube. This is one of my first experiences with this group was KFARR doing this. He was actively pressing for people to make false reports on Tiffany's kids.
Well, that never happened. And I've never called CPS on anyone but myself to check on my status if a fucking lispy meth head from Mississippi made a knowingly false report, which turns out he didn't because he's a pussy.
I responded to him. I was like, why the fuck would you do that? It's a lie. You knew it was a lie when you did it. You should be charged. And I actually put him on paper in the filing. And he knows that. And I was ignorant.
Chris, did you just admit to putting me into false litigation? I'll add that to the list of shit I can sue you for.
To the whole YouTube streets thing at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how much of an actual situation this guy has, a problem that he has with him injecting himself and obstructing legal cases, right? So he was obstructing, he was getting involved. I didn't know nothing about YouTube. I didn't know what to do. So I just put him on paper in filing. And then I was like, stop. I mean, what are you doing? He ran to YouTube and all his YouTube people, and they started saying, they called the Department of Child Services on me. What? You did that. That's you, KFARR. That's what.
I literally have a video of your friend doing it to me and bragging about it. And there's streams of you giving him a high five in the fucking chat for doing it and laughing about it. It's the only thing about CPS that I've been involved in.
You did. And now you're running around and you got probably an audience right now watching. And what's funny is the reason his channel has been around for so long and has never grown is because the audience that won't stop watching him agrees with doing. They know that's what he does. Yeah, so
I've got almost 20,000 subscribers. My channel is bigger than everyone I'm watching put together. They have both been at 2,000 subscribers for years. Because everyone knows that they're both fucking liars. They've got a medical condition where they can't stop lying. This is projecting. Chris isn't even the biggest for public safety on YouTube. There's another channel that's called For Public Safety, which I believe is the correct For Public Safety, has 3,200 subscribers. I've probably grown more in the last 2 weeks than they have in the last year.
Congratulations, you're stuck with 100 people for the rest of your fucking fat, miserable, hypocritical life, K-Pat. No.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, if you don't like the channel, don't watch it. But the fact is, guys, they get a dopamine rush off you.
But here's the thing, GJM, because you're medically retarded. I don't just not like these people. You'll see in a second. They will actively slander me. Is that not worth correcting? If somebody slanders you on the internet, is that not worth correcting? Do facts not matter anymore, GJM? Facts don't matter. The fact that Todd stabbed me, Todd literally stabbed 10 people in the back for Chris Ryder. And then when we correct the record, you call it stalking, making threats, saying Todd did this on this day. Here's a live stream to prove it. That's just correcting the record.
Guys, you brought it up best. Like, even if you took a break from YouTube, they'll go deeper to get that fix. It's literally like a drug for them. And causing that torment. They have these nightly gatherings where they repeat the same junk over and over again. They spit out false information. Like, I remember, what was it? Sometime like later on the weekend, might have been Monday. Like, I was listening for like 10 minutes, and all I heard was, "Oh, they're probably on their way to Florida right now." No. I was like, based off what? Uninformed, uneducated fools.
Yep. Well, I think
they actually were saying that Todd should be on his way to Florida because, to all of their knowledge, Todd had a case to be at in the morning. So common sense would tell you if somebody has a court case in a state several hours away, they would probably be moving in that direction. But hey, don't let facts get in the way.
I think you're right about the dopamine rush. And I also think that it's proven in science that criminals catch that rush when they commit the crimes that they do. They become addicted to.
Chris, you are the only convicted criminal that we're talking about. Todd, however much I don't like him right now, he has no criminal history. I have no criminal history. The only person with a criminal history is you, bud.
Committing certain crimes. Like a robber might get a dopamine rush every time they steal. Okay. And some people get addicted to the dopamine rush that they get from stealing. And even though they don't need the thing, they still steal it because of the dopamine rush. Well, that's KFARR and obstructing justice. He is so enamored with committing the crime of obstruction that he has to do it. I think he is addicted. I think it's habitual. I think it's Kevin. Kevin, you're a criminal, dude.
Like, I just don't.
Are you calling a guy with no criminal convictions or no criminal records at all? You're calling me a criminal. I just want to get this for the record. Yeah, Peg, like that's the thing. These people add nothing. You see what Todd is doing right now. Todd is running a live stream, and he's literally not putting his shit on the internet. He's playing State of Decay 2. Normally, what he'll do is he'll put up a well-known YouTube channel. I don't know how big Flecka Talks is, but the Flecka Talks, the Asmongold's, the Andrew Wilson's, he'll put it in the corner, like how I am right now, where it's the little box. And the main box will just be him playing Magic the Gathering. And then every 10 minutes, he'll go, based? Oh, interesting. That's what they do. They add nothing. And it's crazy to me. Like, Todd hasn't spoken in the longest of times. It's been so long, I don't even know. But apparently I'm the problem.
Say out loud and publicly, I thank you for resharing it and broadcasting my opinion when you have me blocked on your channel, because now you're putting me on your channel and I'm saying the things that you were scared of.
Wait a minute. Let me check. Gotta check. He just said that he's blocked. Let's check that. Oh, YouTube Studio. Settings. Permission. I think it's permission. Nope. General. Nope. Channel. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, community moderation. Maybe it's in that. I have my address blocked as keywords. Oh, wow. I have a lot more moderators than I thought. Actually, let's get rid of some of these people. Yeah, that's probably fair. That's probably fair. All right, let's see here. Approved users. Okay. Let's see who I have blocked. Huh. Crazy. And none of them are Chris. Chris, I know that you have issues, but why lie about these things? Yeah, Peg, like apparently I'm obstructing justice. I am interfering with court cases. According to frauditors, interference is a physical act. So I don't know how they're going to make the leap to I'm interfering with anything. And this is just Chris trying to play victim. Oh, I'm blocked. No, I made a comment that one of your fucking posts was so fucking heinous that YouTube held it and made me approve it, where he was going off about hating veterans. You're not blocked. You just don't come here because you're a pussy.
And it's just so alarming, guys. Again, just, you know, they adjust the goalpost every time with, you know, what they take serious and what they don't take serious. I mean, again, cult-like mentality where if you don't agree with 1000% of what the other person agrees with, you're some sort of like an infidel. Like you're not. Again,
I don't agree with everything that Hill Pirate Studio says. I don't agree with everything that Stone Vet says. I'm not calling for their head like Chris is.
You're not following in line. You're not a chaos agent. You're not here to seek and destroy and cause harm. And again, I'll be honest with you, Chris. I've only been to your neck of, like, not even in your town, but like I've only been to your neck of the woods once when my Canadian cousin married a girl in Louisville, right? Why would someone be in your neck of the woods, man? It's not exactly a tourist destination.
I actually have, let's just say, business to take care of in Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So unlike most people, I actually have actual business concerned in Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So if I happen to drive through there, if I want to go to a court case that I've been covering for years, I can fucking do it. Am I going to go to Chris's house? No. Also, it's not Chris's house. I'll probably just never mind. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to contact the owner of a fucking shit shack. But yeah, I actually have business in Indiana. I lived there for quite some time. Everybody knows my business in Kentucky, and I have business with another family member in Tennessee. So if I just happen to fucking drive through there, guess what? Legally, I can do that.
Going on here? You know, no disrespect. You know, I got my love for South Bend where my other cousin lives and everything, but like, there ain't nothing going on. So the fact
I won't go to South Bend.
Really in this small town with, like, you know.
There's no event. We've already checked on it. There was no
that's what I'm getting at, man. It's just a load of garbage.
Yeah,
it's a load of garbage. But what does it say to you that a guy that has let me be more vague intentionally. I don't want to get blur the lines here on GS's channel, but I would say if someone had a subsidized government approved charity and they were using that charity to masquerade committing, quite frankly, almost not almost, like blatant harassment, stalking, intimidating tactics,
yeah,
but they're using it behind a charity.
Literally, he did that. Like, he told the police.
If I was Todd, I would say, please don't mention this person on my chat. But Todd is too wrapped up playing State of Decay 2. I'm not going to say, again, It's a great game, but you got to pay attention to what's happening on your channel, bro.
Like he told the police, he said, my nonprofit is actively being used to stalk this family. That's what he said.
It sounded like a confession to me.
He's so stupid.
No, actually, he said his nonprofit was trying to get, I believe, a car show done at a local church. I believe that's what was said. Yeah, like if you were planning, or I'm assuming planting false evidence with JJ, or planning false evidence with JJ, sure, that would be obstruction, but streaming about JJ, not obstruction. I'm under no court order to do anything. And even then, I don't even remember the last time I covered Chris on a live stream or a fucking video. I made an AI video of Chris and Todd hugging. What? The I'm Just Dying in Your Arms Tonight song. I made a short of them a few weeks ago. I really wouldn't call that talking about them. It's just a funny little short I made because they're now butt buddies. But I don't. Rabbit has the nonprofit, a legitimate nonprofit. Yeah, crazy. He has a legitimate nonprofit, and Chris and Todd apparently don't like that, which is weird. But yeah, I don't cover Chris. I don't really cover Todd. I'll make the occasional Todd video when he slips up fucking royally. But I don't cover that shit on my channel. Because as you guys see, I've got 77 people in chat. I usually have like 150. I'm doing this one for the love of the game.
I mean, it's stupid to believe that you can do that and not get in trouble. You're definitely going to get in trouble for doing that.
Well, it further proves the point why they were trying to mock someone for taking a continuance when there's this much of a landfill of past and prior information about someone's background. Yeah, someone is going to have their legal counsel do a deep dive on all that stuff in order to best defend themselves against the toxic nature of a plaintiff with this type of checkered past.
Mm-hmm. He has one hell of a past on, it looks like a habitual strain of stalking and harassment like that. And maybe more. Maybe he's gone even further. You know, that's one of the things that's been being questioned very intensely and, in my opinion, needed. Yeah, but you know that you're spot on, G. You're spot on with everything you're saying. And I think the reason that you're getting, you know, the cult harassment over it, in my opinion, or my experience, I should say, would be that it goes back to the bullies on the playground that I said, the analogy that I brought a few minutes ago. You know, that's exactly what
that was wrong.
Group of bullies do, is they try to shame other people into participating in their bully behavior on that target. So if you're a person that...
Chris, I know you're going to watch this. You're going to fucking fume over it. You might goon to my video because you're fucking weird. You're the bully. You are the defendant because you are the bully. You punched a little kid on the school ground or the playground. Everybody else is standing over you going, what the fuck did you do that for? And then instead of going to the principal's office to take your punishment, you're finding every fucking way to delay going to the principal's office. So the fact that you're bringing up, oh, it's a bully mentality. It's in your own analogy, you would be the bully. Yeah. I'm not targeting jurors because there are no jurors. I'm not going to look for jurors. I'm not scoping out jurors. But apparently, I'm a terrible person, according to Chris.
Says, stop fucking picking on this kid. Then they're going to pick on you. You know?
No, exactly.
You're the defendant. You were picking on somebody. In your analogy, you were picking on somebody, and everybody else is going, you seem to have a past of picking on people. Maybe you shouldn't fucking do that. And then we show all the evidence of your prior bullying. And then you go, man, they're making fun of me. This is harassment. I don't like this. Shut the fuck up, Chris. Take your medicine.
Laugh though, man. Like they were trying to come at me. You should definitely check out the stream. It was from a couple nights ago on Boots' new thing. And you know what? I just enjoyed just being cool, calm, and collected the whole time, no matter what was being said in my direction. And I read some of the chat after. He sounds political. No, I sound like a grown adult. I sound like a grown adult that knows how to conduct himself.
Until he got to this chat, and then he blew his fucking top over a continuance.
Unhinged lunatic on a YouTube stream, which is what's going on over there. And again, I can financially donate wherever I choose. I'm a free citizen. It's a platform that that allows viewers to do such a thing. So why all of a sudden I'm held to some sort of moral standard? I mean, give me a goddamn break here.
Yeah. I have an idea to teach him a lesson instead of just trying to talk to him about it like you are right now. I got a better idea. Kevin's listening, am I right?
I'm not sure. I think someone in the chat said that they were restreaming or something.
Well, I know he's listening because he screenshotted me in the comments earlier. So yeah, Kevin, we know you're addicted. We know you're listening. We appreciate the view. And here's the thing. I got a better idea, G. Instead of trying to make sense with this motherfucker, how about this? How about we challenging him? Let's just challenge him in his beliefs and see how badass he is. See how much he stands for it. Kevin is apparently against a person providing monetary, like giving money to a person for having a drink. All right, cool. I love it, man. Prove it, Kevin. Go to the bar. closest to your house. Pick a biker bar if you really want to prove you're a badass. Go to a biker bar, man, right now. All right, bring your YouTube. Tell them about it when you walk in. Tell all the bikers about how cool you are on YouTube and how many friends you have on the internet.
I'm not you, Chris. I don't brag about my fucking YouTube channel to random strangers. Also, I don't have a problem with anyone drinking. I have a problem with people overly drinking and saying, "Oh, I don't even drink. I don't even drink." As he opens a bottle for the 6th day this week, and you go, "Oh, I only drink 2 days a month." That's what people have a problem with. But please, Chris, go on.
Right? And walk up and say, "Do not. I stand against it. Do not buy that motherfucker a drink, dude, or I will fucking camera you on my YouTube channel." Do it, Kevin. Go up to a biker that's buying another biker a drink right now and prove it. Prove that you really stand against people buying each other a drink. Bitch. Bet you won't.
See how he's making up a scenario in his head that doesn't exist in reality. It's crazy. Oh no, Teresa Miller, what's the post that I made? Don't take criticism from people you won't take advice from. I would never take advice from Generally Specific or Chris, so their criticism doesn't bother me. Like right now, he's talking about a situation that exists nowhere but Chris's head. I've got 2 bottles of alcohol sitting right next to me. I regularly drink on stream just for the love of the game. I drank a beer while making a court video of Broken System, Broken Trust years ago, where I was pretending I was his father and drinking during the court hearing. So why is Chris saying this? That's a good question.
But you're scared.
There's another thing he brought up to me. So he asked me, it was a weird question because I never had really.
Okay, this is what we're here for, guys. This is what we're here for. Hopefully Todd doesn't end the stream to protect his friend Chris. This is evidence. This is evidence that will be used against Chris if Chris ever files knowingly false litigation against me.
Well, then he asked me, would you have a problem inviting other kids to your kid's birthday party? I'm like, well, no, I don't know. And like they're all kind of snickered and like almost kind of like it was a gotcha moment. I'm kind of like, I can only answer the question based off of how you're asking me the question. Like I'm not sure how or
That's the question. Easy fucking day. You answered it correctly. Inviting kids to your kid's birthday party is a normal thing that happens probably every day.
What type? I could tell like it was being spun in a certain way, but again, you're asking me as a parent who has young kids, like yes, we send out birthday invitations. It's normal, but how or why this was some sort of gotcha moment, I don't know.
Well, I do.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. That's interesting. He seems. I'll just say I do want to preface it before you kind of get into the explanation of that. I want to preface it by saying he's really super protective and sensitive about the whole kid thing.
Yeah, well, I would be too if I were a criminal that's way overly interested in kids and did some shit.
Chris, you literally support a guy who molested a 12-year-old. You were also streaming with a guy who I believe Civic Duty admitting to molesting his own kids or kid and friend. Those are the people you hang out with. And yes, if a convicted violent criminal like Chris Ryder is talking about my underage kids, knowing what community he's in with the frauditors that's just rampant with pedophiles, and the fact that he's actively supported and was good friends with multiple sex offenders, yes, I would feel some type of way if Chris Ryder started talking about my minor children.
It's fucking sketchy.
For the record, those are your words, not mine.
My words. Kevin, come after me wherever, any which way you want on this.
I mean, you're the
I'll
one
say
begging.
whatever for you.
You're the one begging for everyone to come at you, and they choose me. I guess they think I'm an easy target, which so far,
Because you have more to take than Chris. Chris has nothing.
Has cost me some money, so I mean.
No, I think it's not about that. It's about not addressing me directly because they know that I'm not afraid to say this under oath with an affidavit and a notary, and I will absolutely do that. And I don't know, maybe they think that if I go after you, then they're indirectly like not really going to get.
Come on, Chris,
Kevin,
get it out.
Me, do something about it when I tell the truth.
Get it out.
Kevin was obsessed with a YouTuber, like he does, his criminal obsession shit, right? Getting involved in a person's open case, and he found out that that person had a minor child. So what he did was, and you did this, Kevin, I'll sign an affidavit with a notary.
Get it out.
He fucking contacted the family members and asked them to bring that child to him physically under the guise of a birthday party. Fucking sick.
I think if you lie about people being a sex offender, you deserve the worst possible punishment. If you lie like this person just did, Chris Ryder, if you lie like this person just did, you deserve the worst. I'm going to cover Chris more now because he just slandered me. If you guys know the KFARR BSBT lore, you know this story already. BSBT, shortly after starting my channel, started just spam posting in my community. The posts, shorts, live streams, videos. Spamming. He's a sovereign citizen. I went, absolutely fucking not. He had a problem with Schrodinger's cat Schrodinger's cat's the only reason I'm here. He had a problem with Schrodinger's cat, actually ghosted him several times trying to live stream with BSBT to shit on him. That's that. Well, turns out BSBT's sister was watching. She was watching what he did on Schrodinger's cat, watching what he did on my channel, reached out to me because he victimized her and she wanted to get her story out. So that's what we did. I did a 5-hour stream one day and almost 6-hour stream the next day with her and her husband that had to do with everything of BSBT stalking them, getting trespassed from their neighbor's house, trying to cross their yard to get to their house where they weren't supposed to be or where BSBT wasn't supposed to be. The past about BSBT using his underage child to steal from the store. BSBT doing meth and getting kicked out of the Marines. That was my first go around with BSBT. And then after what, me and Erica have been good friends for almost 5 years now. My kid has been over to her house to have a sleepover. I didn't think that was strange. She's brought her entire family over to my home, including BSBT's ex-girlfriend and her kid, over to my home for my child's birthday party. I think we had a bounce house. We had a bunch of other kids there. Everybody had a great time. But apparently that makes me a bad person. Apparently my kid going over to her house for, I think, multiple sleepovers, and then her being invited to several events at my home, apparently that makes me wanting his kid at my home. That's disgusting, Chris. And if you feel this confident, just wait, Chris. Just wait. Like I said, I will take everything from you. You don't have anything, but anything I can take, I'll take. Like I said, if I can rip up the grass in your front yard and take it, I'll fucking do that shit. Your broke down vehicles, I'm taking that shit. Because that's what you deserve. Hi, my name's Karma. How you doing? Yeah, like, I can't believe Chris just let this come out of his mouth. And you notice how GS was just like, these are your words, not mine. These are your words.
Fuck. Why do you want to be around people you hate? Children, weirdo.
Because the person I hate doesn't have custody of that children. That kid has nothing to do with BSBT. His sister, coincidentally enough, has full custody and has had custody of that child since they were wee little. To the fact that she considers that kid her kid. Get your shit straight, Chris.
That's fucking weird, man. When you try to preface it in the way that they are, they're trying to make it sound like, oh, these people all knew each other and were friends, you know, forever.
I've been friends with this woman for 5 years, Chris.
Whatever. Because when you're a parent and you got a kid having a birthday and you send out those birthday invites, what you're supposed to do is you send invites to the kids that are actually involved and know your kids.
Yeah, of course.
You don't send a fucking random invite to some fucking dude's kid that you want to fucking hurt. And it's hard.
This is the shit that I'm talking about. Thank you, Chris. This is evidence against you. This is evidence against you. I might make a video of this showing more evidence. This is why people hate you, Chris. You are literally on panel lying to cover up a domestic abuser who sucks dick for drugs. That's who you're covering for right now, Chris. Actually, I didn't even send the invite to the kid. I sent the invite to a bunch of my friends. A bunch of my friends actually showed up. Friends from the police department showed up just to hang out. Turns out when you're cooking, I think I made... What did I make? Did I make pulled pork? I think I made like pulled pork and brisket that day. It was a great day. But apparently, Chris, I understand you don't have friends, and I understand that you don't have children. This is a normal thing. Inviting your friends to your kids' birthday parties, that's a normal thing. Yeah, that... What is fucking weird is being in a robe with a very young kid in the same photograph when that kid's not yours, Chris. Weird.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's
stalking.
That's how it was phrased to me. It's almost like, and again, maybe I just made it more like how I would deal with it. But like whenever my kids have a birthday party.
GJM, because the way I asked you is how it took place. Not this. The fact that Chris has these thoughts floating around in his fucking mind should scare the fuck out of everybody in this city.
or one of their little friends at the birthday party, the parents will send like invites to school or whatever, or they'll send like one of us as parents a text message just to confirm if the kids are going or whatever, right? Like
we go to school together, so there's
the way he worded it was like it was very nonchalant, like, you know, like, oh, you don't get, it's not weird to invite kids to.
Because everyone else thinks it's nonchalant except for Chris. Which again, if you're siding with Chris Ryder, you've got something wrong in the head.
A kid's birthday party. It's like, no, like, again, it was a really random comment. It was completely separate from the conversation that was going on. So that's what really stuck with me for it. I'm glad I actually got a chance to ask, just because it was completely out of context of what the conversation was about on that panel. And I just thought, I just thought it was so out of left field. It was so out of left field. And again, like, it was almost trying to like, you know, besmirch, you know, put down someone's credibility. But at the same time, it was just like, how would that make any sense? You know, like of course, like, it's a birthday party. It's like, that's how do you get the other kids to show up? Well, you invite the kids that the kid knows, and one's at the birthday party. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, he reached out, like, even across state lines and was like, oh, you're the person that is overseeing the child of a man that I'm fucking obsessed with in Target.
Yeah, no, I didn't reach out across state lines. We lived like 20 minutes apart, which is why your friend, Broken System, Broken Trust, Joshua Peter Lanto, the guy who was other than honorably discharged in lieu of court-martial for driving drunk and doing meth, and who sucked dick for drugs and has a conviction for beating his ex-girlfriend. That's how he was able to come to my home and threaten my kids, Chris. This is the shit that just blows my mind with Chris. He's so worried about deflecting that he literally just makes shit up.
And commit crimes against. You want a birthday invitation? It's the equivalency of a white van with a free candy sign, and the free candy sign was the birthday party, right? So if you took down just the free candy sign, and you went, well, what's the harm in offering candy to children? That's what he's trying to do. You know, like, it's still fucking weird when you put it all together, Kevin, and you're the fucking driver of the white van trying to attract children to your physical presence.
Chris, again, what's your stance on D. Garrett, the guy who molested his 12-year-old sister and then tried to pimp her out after? Oh, that's right. You're still carrying water for him. And now you're trying to call me, I don't know, a sex offender, a pedophile, because I invited my friend to my kid's birthday party. Make it make sense, Chris. This is why we stream, to gather evidence.
You fucking sicko.
I just want to say, like, I hope when KFARR brought that up, like, he wasn't in bad faith when he was asking me that question, because I stand by my response to what I said in terms of, like, based off of the question I was asked. Like, yeah, like, you invite kids to kids' birthday parties. But again, if there's some sort of deep-seated undermine bad intentions, like, yeah, no, I don't support that at all.
I mean, I'll just say Broken System doesn't have any problem with this factual information being out there. I'm sure he won't mind. So Broken System was going through some bullshit with the legal process, and he hadn't been, you know, hadn't gone all the way through the court system yet. KFARR was harassing him. You know how KFARR does. Harassing him with his YouTube channel, making content.
Again, BSBT started commenting on my page before I even knew he was a person. I don't know if YouTube recommends people that are like in your area, but I don't know. But he started spam posting. I tried to be nice to the guy. I really did. I even got together with some people. Once I found out his situation, I offered to get him a job, offered to get him some mental help because he's clearly not all there. And he said no to the job, and he only would take mental help if he could record it. And that's when Broken System, Broken Trust started attacking my minor children. But Chris won't bring that up because he's trying to push a certain narrative, which I find absolutely disgusting. And the only reason I'm even watching this still is to gather evidence against Chris Ryder.
Out of him, obsessing over every fucking thing that dude was doing and obstructing in his cases. And he took it a whole other step after the kid's minor child.
I don't think Chris knows what obstructing means.
When he found out that the sister had temporary, you know, a situation where she had the ability to bring this kid to...
No, she has permanent custody, Chris. She has permanent custody. She's had custody since CPS took his kid away, and she had to become a foster parent for her niece. But please, keep talking about things you don't know about, Chris.
Around other places. So when KFARR found that out, he reached out to the sister and tried to befriend her, and then gave her an invite for the child to be brought to his feet. Fucking weirdo.
Also, so almost like to show Broken System, like almost like a could be interpreted as a manipulative tactic to kind of show.
I got a kid, dude.
Yeah,
kid in my house. What are you gonna do? How about this? What if the next step is I'm gonna hurt your kid? What if he's sick enough to make good on what it looks like? Because I don't think Kevin's a person that's past. I watch him break the law, and he calls it a living. I watch him get the dopamine rush every single day of committing the crimes under conspiracy and obstruction. Right?
I mean, my statement to that would be, again,
has anybody ever seen me break the law? Because I must have missed it. I must have missed when I broke the law. I think Chris is just looking in the fucking mirror.
So if this kid, like Broken System, was involved in some sort of legal trouble, and I assume, you know, if the kid was being placed in it, you know, with the mother or something like that, then obviously, like, you know, the legal process was involved or potentially child protective services. And why wouldn't you get approval from the worker, from the CPS worker? You know, like that's what I'm
He
saying.
has no business getting involved. That's why, because it's a crime for him to get involved. It's called obstruction.
That's what I'm alluding to. Is like go through the proper. If you were genuine, if you're acting in good faith, then go through CPS, go through like promote why this would be a benefit to the child. You know, if the child would have been exposed to something bad or something like that, show like, oh, you know, we want to have a nice nurturing environment for the child. It sounds like the child wasn't really prioritized here, and like,
oh God, no. I'll tell you why he don't do it. I'm telling you why he won't do it. Would a bank robber fucking call the authorities and say, you know, hey, I feel like robbing this bank. What are your feelings on it? No, he's a criminal. What he did was called child stalking. He's stalking. It literally fits the statute. So no, he didn't.
So I'm child stalking by inviting a friend of almost half a decade to my home for my child's birthday party. After, I believe this was after they had sleepovers. That's child stalking. When I asked the permanent custody holder, hey, do you want to come over to my kid's birthday party and just hang out? And then you bring your husband. Make that make sense, Chris. Make that make sense.
He ain't making a call to no authority.
You're circling the drain, bro. You're circling the drain.
Because he knows that call would probably land him in the fucking process. Like he would get charged for that. It's a threat. And it also fits intimidation on the broken system guy. I told the broken system guy, man, file a fucking charge against him, dude. If he's doing that shit because, well, I mean, a lot of people are going to go, oh, look, he wanted to call the cops. No, I want to protect the kid. Don't you? It's fucking weird, man. Kevin,
If you wanted to protect children, you would call out civic duty and de-Garrett. You would cut contact. You would expose them for being sex offenders. But no, you just carry water for them. Make that make sense, Chris. Make that make sense. It's almost like you're hiding something.
fucking weirdo, dude. Targeting children? You fucking sicko. What would you do next, you criminal? You get the dopamine rush off committing crimes and obstructing justice. Do you get dopamine rushes from doing beyond that? I wonder. Now bring me to court, and I'll sign the affidavit that backs up everything I'm saying to be true.
There's nothing wrong with, I mean, for a guy, I would just say for KFARR, for a guy that has brought up that he's been the victim of stalking and the victim of like online threats, online abuse, I'm surprised he's not more protective of his personal family and not like divulging personal information and whatnot. Like, it just seems very odd to me. Like,
I don't divulge personal information. Fucking people like Chris Ryder have doxed me multiple times. People Chris Ryder is close to literally dox me on a daily basis. There's a reason why I have a bunch of cameras now and a bunch of no trespassing signs on my house. Because of Chris Ryder and his friends.
Again, my natural inclination would be like, you're not gonna know how many kids I got. You're not gonna know what geographical area I live in. Like, I put up a brick wall around that stuff, right? Whereas I find like, I don't know, like he dabbles in a lot of things I find very peculiar.
I just think he's careless. When he, involves himself in the crimes he's committing, he feels invincible because he's gotten away with it so many times. Just like, I'm gonna keep going back to the robber analogy. You can have a person that fucking robs 150 cars, 3 stores, and maybe even a bank before they get caught. And the more they get away with, the more inclined they are to think, I'm not gonna get caught. Go ahead, Kevin. Keep fucking rolling, bro. You're caught.
Chris, I like own you right now. I literally own you. You have made up a situation in your head that doesn't exist in reality. Again. Oh, I'll sign this. I'll sign this affidavit in court. Okay, cool. You want to go to jail for that too? It turns out lying on the stand doesn't get you where you want to be. Or unless you want to be in prison, which seems to be what you're shooting for, Chris. It's just like, this is the reason why Chris does not ever want to come to this channel. He's not blocked. He's just a pussy. Yeah, well, you see here, Peg Leg Finance. It's because Chris has no idea what he's talking about. If you notice, that's kind of like his MO is talking about things above his pay grade, above his education level, above pretty much anything. Chris is one of those people that should go to jail, and he is only qualified to make big rocks into little rocks. Chris Caveman, Chris not all there. And this story should prove that.
Gentlemen, can I interject? I'm going to posit something that I still find interesting, and I can't really say. The thing KFARR didn't mention was the kid who he invited to the birthday party was that kid was the child of his enemy, BSBT. Okay, yeah. So I want to posit this, which I still find interesting. Boot blocks cam, and by the way, official misconduct is saying a whole lot in the chat. So,
hey Todd, you keep calling people blocks cam when you literally have in your browser at the very top a pinned fucking page called Todd, which is a Roblox exclusive YouTube channel. All right, Todd blocks cam.
I don't know if you're paying attention to it, Chris, but thank you very much for helping my algorithm, official misconduct. I want to posit this. I still find it interesting how Boot blocks cam, when I was criticizing Roblox, and after I showed Ryan Montgomery and Sean Ryan discussing the danger of Roblox, and I said, you know, why would you allow your kid to play it? And why would you allow it? And if you do allow your kid to play it, you should really have all kinds of protections for that child. Make sure you're co-located. And I understand that there are ways to protect your children. But my thought behind it was, why even risk it? Why even roll the dice? Why even have that platform?
Yeah, Tiffany, who has like days on Roblox. Why are you allowing your kid to play fucking Roblox? That's weird. It's funny how when it got brought up that Tiffany has Roblox, oh, then it's okay. Then it's okay. But anybody else playing Roblox with their own child, apparently that's not being safe enough.
Available for somebody to have access to your children, right? And that's basically been my argument. I casted no aspersions upon anyone. I never said that people were a kiddie diddler or anything like that. Those were actually Boots' words. He said, well, KFARR plays Roblox too. Is he a kid? Does he diddle kids, or is he a chomo? Or I forget exactly how he worded it. But it's in my video section. If anyone wants to use it, spread it out there. Feel free to. When Boot came on my panel and started spurting out and talking in a really whiny, high-pitched voice. And so it's interesting how cowards like this will chuck anything in front of them as a shield or as a bullet sponge, so to speak. You know, metaphorically, not literally. Like human shielding, like a human shield, like a coward move for an errorist. You know. Why would he say that KFARR blocks also?
Because at the time, Todd, you were trying to ride my coattails for as many views and subscribers as you could get. That's why he mentioned me. I had to like beat you off with a fucking stick to try to get you away from me. That's why he brought me up. You want to be me, bro. You want to wear my skin. But you're not me. You're 50-something years old and you're fucking weird. You're not funny. The best thing you can do is interesting. Interesting. A beast. You're in your 50s, bro. You can't say beast anymore. Stop.
Plays Roblox if it wasn't something that was current. And and then when to hear KFARR explain it, he said, well, I played it for less than a handful of days, three and a half years ago. I forget his exact quote. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how does Roblox come up in general conversation to the point where Boot Block Scam will just throw that out there that KFARR plays Roblox, not played it?
Because if two people talk about it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I played that. If it wasn't for the creeps, Roblox seems like would be the ideal setup. Because if I remember correctly, it's got like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not tiles or pages. Maybe pages would be. It's just got like a million tiles of different shit. And it's like, oh, you want to play a weird, like a Lego army game? You can go play that. You want to go play a knockoff Grand Theft Auto game? You can go play that. That's what we talked about. Heaven forbid if somebody's talking to me about something, I show interest. Or I don't know. Relate to them and be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's normally how conversations go with two people. But this is the only kind of conversation Todd and Chris get, is them just spurging out on the internet. Yeah, Peg, like that's literally, we played for like a week. And it was just to the point where I'm just like, can you guys just play like Call of Duty instead? Can we just play Fortnite? I don't really like this. Can we? So we both downloaded Fortnite. I downloaded Fortnite on my Xbox. They have the PlayStation downstairs. They load up Fortnite. I'll load up Fortnite. We'll play duos. That's what we did instead of Roblox. Even though I fucking hate Fortnite with a passion. But yeah, they're trying to make it sound so crazy. How sinister. Yes, I played a video game with my own children. How crazy. How crazy.
3.5 years ago, and refuses to let his kids play it because it's a no good platform as far as he understands. So how does that keep getting bullied or bandied around back and forth? And then on top of that, how sensitive he is to bring up to GJM about inviting children to a birthday party. Like, just stop talking to kids.
I got one more.
Sure, go ahead.
When I was explaining,
if someone slanders you and the person you got on panel with you is close to the people slandering you, wouldn't you ask the question to be like, would you slander somebody in this situation? And then GJM answered it exactly the way he should have. Wait, kids to a kid's birthday? No, that's not weird at all. But according to these two chuckle fucks, that's weird.
KFARR's first initial involvement with us, it was in regards to children, right? He interjected himself into a child custody case that was ongoing. And not only...
no, it was when you threatened a smaller YouTuber with legal actions for your piss-poor run business. This guy was getting bad reviews on his business before I even had a YouTube channel. But he was blaming YouTube for his bad reviews on his business. Make that make sense. That was our first interaction, you fuck.
Did he do that? But he interfered by actively doing campaigning false reports against Tiffany personally, right?
Right.
And her.
Again, that never happened, Chris. I don't even know the number to Indiana CPS. The only reason I know the number for my current state CPS is one of your subscribers shared my full name, Mrs. KFARR's full name, our address, pictures of our home, and tried to get his subscribers to make knowingly false calls to my state CPS. It's the only reason I know my state CPS, because of you and your subscribers. Weird.
Children, hurting her children, right? Well, guess who was involved in that?
Not
when I said
me.
the campaign was done, there were other people involved. Guess how I met Boot Blocks? Guess how he became part of our purview? He acted.
I don't know if... I think Boot will be okay with me telling this story. Do you know how Boot became involved in this? He sent me a pissed off message. He floated around my channel. We would go back and forth. Positive, negative, go back and forth in the comments. He sent me a strongly worded message because he was pissed off that Tyrants Beware would call CPS and make a knowingly false report on me. He was pissed. He was livid. That's how I got to know Boot. Because one of Chris's good friends, Tyrants Beware, bragged about making a knowingly false CPS call on me. That's how Boot got involved.
Personally involved himself. I feel like the more important, I don't care about Roblox personally. That's your thing. I don't understand it. I don't get to involve myself when I don't have any experience or knowledge of Roblox. Hell, I don't even know how to pronounce it, I don't think. But what I will say is there are other things completely separate in the fact that Boot is attracted to child cases. Fucking weird, man. Fucking weird.
Yes, he's attracted to cases where your community fucks around with children, literally and figuratively. Then he gets involved in covering it. Imagine this. Imagine Chris Ryder brings a guy to his court case. All right, I'm gonna just bring this up. If Boot, are you a mod? Let me see if you're a mod, bud. Oh, I'll put your link in the chat and everybody can go subscribe to your channel and catch it. You know what would be really helpful is if I put all messages instead of top. There you go, Boot. Go ahead and drop your link and I'll throw some people your way. What was I going to say? I don't fucking remember. Hold on.
Kevin is attracted to child cases. Fucking weird, man.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. Chris brought a registered sex offender to defend him in Meade County, Kentucky. Him, this sex offender, and Todd Bryant, Todd M from Esther Bryant, they were standing in the gap, as Todd says. And there was a voice that says, I just want to get a picture of the pedophile. Talking about D. Garrett, somebody that Chris is close with. That piqued my interest. It's just like, wait a minute. What? He's a pedophile? He's a sex offender? Yes, turns out D. Garrett molested his 12-year-old sister. He's on the Kentucky Sex Offender Registry. You can look it up. I literally did a video about it 2 weeks ago, to the point where I even contacted his victim because she was posting about how shitty he was because he's actively, what she believes is stalking her. After she called him on his shit years later, he's still messaging her, texting her, calling her, even though she blocks him immediately. He makes a new account and texts her and calls her. So I reached out and said, hey, this guy Chris Ryder on YouTube, he's trying to carry water for D. Garrett. Can I just get some background if you feel comfortable? Are these set of facts true? And then she says, yes, that's true. Not only is that true, here's more information and why he got convicted when he got convicted. So if you can consider calling out a child molester, if you call that me getting into those cases, then I guess sure. If exposing a sex offender is bad, Chris, that's on you, not me. That's weird. Just like Chris's friend, Civic Duty. Same type of situation. I'm barely involved in that, but another sex offender. Earl David Warden, News Now Houston. I got involved in that too. Why? because he under the guise of being an officer, grabbed a lady off the street, raped her, got convicted of that, which is why he used to carry a pepper ball gun. And then recently just got convicted for basically the rest of his life for molesting his own children. That's why I got into that. Chris, if you consider exposing child molesters as bad, that's on you. That tells everyone exactly what they need to know about you. If you find calling out sex offenders bad, that's a red flag for you. That's Boots' channel. If you guys want to go subscribe to that real quick. I'm only going to be on a hot second more.
It's the same. It's fucking weird to get attracted to other people's children and what they're going through. Like across the fucking...
No, Chris, your friends get attracted to minor children. I just like to cover their cases to prove how shitty they are.
Boots in what? Illinois? KFARR was in Michigan. We're in Indiana.
Right.
Why target a fucking child from Indiana and get... Where's the magnet, man? Pulling you across state lines to get fucking personal with a kid, a specific kid. We're not talking about just in general speaking for children. We're talking about you fucking got magnetized, man, at a real child. Why? And then KFARR doing it again with the SBT's kid. Magnetized to a child. That's what I have a problem with. And then another thing, Todd, you said that your experience with Boots specifically was that when you went into a private conversation with him that he had the voice over IP kids on his game that he was playing. That's fucking weird, man.
Well, I mean,
not really. He was playing, if I remember correctly. Hopefully I'm still talking good. I see somebody said muted. If I remember correctly, Boot was playing a VR game, and there were some squeakers in the background. I don't know if you guys know the state of gaming. Shit. Yeah, I call out sex offenders. That means I am one. That's Chris's logic here. That's Chris's logic. Which is weird because he's carrying water and trying to defend multiple sex offenders. He's in a community that's filled with them, but I'm the bad guy. And Chris won't rewatch this stream and correct any of his nonsense that he just said. No, he's just going to keep going from stream to stream saying this. Weird. It's almost like I'm collecting evidence against Chris for a reason. And Texas Sheepdog. Yes, exactly. Like the list goes on. Floyd Wallace trafficking minor children in a different country. But I guess I shouldn't cover that either. Oh God, what was it? Yeah, you were playing VR. You were playing VR something. I'm not going to go into it because I know you've told me the story, but I have the brain of a fucking 80-year-old man. But yeah, if you know the state of gaming, I could load up right now. I could go into Arc Raiders, which is like a 18 and older game, and you'll run into squeakers every once in a while. It is what it is. Nobody's out looking for them except for Chris's friends, obviously. But like, it's just disingenuous. Like, this is arguing in bad faith from Chris. His whole thing is when in doubt, lie. It's crazy.
It stood out to me as being very odd. And the reason why it stood out to me as being odd is I'm like, it was late and I was tired and he really wanted me to hear, for some reason, he really wanted to show me this game that I now know, thanks to Killamilla. If I was any dumber, I could be a plumber. Thanks to Killamilla, that was actually Roblox. Apparently, Killa confirmed it for me before I even had a concept of what the hell Roblox was.
So my question now is the game the new free candy sign in this? Is that the free candy sign? Is that the excuse you're using?
That's the really important thing that Jess is bringing up. So there's a lot of warnings. So Roblox is kind of like this online platform. Okay, I think I'm getting it right. And like where they play different games, and it's a mix of people going on there, and like you got young ones like elementary school age. They'll be going on there to play these kind of games, and you get adults playing this game. Learn like how do we keep this site safe, or is this site like completely like get away from it at all costs? Right? It helps spread awareness. Yeah. But again,
I don't want to say it's not safe. Nothing's safe anymore, because people like Chris's friends are alive and they go where kids are. So no matter what kind of security you put up, which is why I play video games with my kids. If I see anything, I say something. Thankfully, I haven't had to say anything, but that's the reason I play. But creepers will go where lions go to the watering hole because that's where their food is. Creepers go to video games, parks. I don't know, wherever D. Garrett hangs out. Because that's where the kids are. That same thing with YouTube. Same thing with the Catholic Church. Same thing with mosques. Yes, most people are doing the right thing, but creepers probably are there because that's where their victims are. And it's like, this is common sense shit to me. But for some reason, they refuse to even bring that up. But that's it, guys. I'm not going to stream tonight because I streamed this. But I am going to give you a dose of something you guys will be interested in. Let me see if I can send you over to this channel. Will Chris or Todd address this live stream correctly? Probably not. Probably not. For some reason, this is not letting me bring up anything, which is disappointing. There we go. I'm going to send you guys over to grammar school if YouTube allows me. Dear Lord, where are we? What are we doing? Apparently, it's not going to let me do that. If somebody can find the link to grammar school and throw it in the chat, go hang out over there. Actually, you know what? I can do this. I know the internet. It's just weird that Chris and Todd keep wanting to talk about minor children like this. We got grammar school. Let's see if I spelt this correctly. Probably not. Peg Leg Finance, this is literally what I have to deal with every day with these idiots. If you email me, God, it's just terrible. Yeah, GS does stream for 3 times a day. I cannot. I cannot and will not because I'm not about that life. Maybe many years ago I could do that. I could also stream for like 6 hours multiple times a week back in the day. Not so much now. Not so much now. I did a stream with Grammar School. I'm trying to find that stream so that I can get the link for Grammar School, put it in the chat, and you guys can go over there. Because for some reason, it doesn't want to do that. All right, let's see here. Oh, fuck. Sorry, guys. I'm dropping the ball here. I just want to send you guys over there because I know he's talking about some good shit. Grammar School. Yeah, turns out I was spelling it correctly this whole time. Streaming is just tiring in general. It's not like the hardest thing in the world, but it's just so difficult. All right. Especially when you got to deal with dummies like fucking Todd and Chris all the fucking time. Why are you not letting me? There we go. All right, that's Grammar School's link. Everybody go over there real quick. I'm about to throw my outro out, and then I'll be out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point, more than likely. Okay, bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.